Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in negative territory once again this morning. A little bit of a bump yesterday coming on the back of positive sentiment surrounding a little bit of progress when it comes to vaccine-related news. We had some positive earnings to deal with. Big name tech companies out aftermarket yesterday, including Apple, Amazon, Twitter, all to the downside this morning. After disappointing earnings, we're still seeing spiking COVID-19 cases globally as well. Shares of both Apple and Amazon to the downside this morning in a big way. Also, Twitter in negative territory. We'll have a look at all three. Positive U.S. GDP numbers, the weekly jobless claims numbers we got yesterday did lift sentiment slightly. But we are back to the downside this morning. Major indices still on pace for their worst weekly performance in quite some time. We have the Dow down 5.9% on the week, on pace for its worst week since March. The S&P and NASDAQ also on pace for their worst week since back in June. Amazon's numbers were decent. We'll talk about this coming up, but still trading lower this morning. Twitter, Facebook, a whole bunch of earnings reports to get to. It's Friday, October 30th. Don't adjust your sets or computers, I guess I should say. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween. TraderTV.live starts now. There's a look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Yeah, a little bit mixed once again. You can see both Chinese markets sharply lower overnight along with Korea. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up. Pretty flat to end off the week outside of Turkey, down 2.5%. We'll go over to North America and see how things are looking. Back to the downside, as I mentioned, the Dow leading here. Looks like the NASDAQ as well, about 0.9% to the downside. The TSX here in Toronto, futures pointing to about a 0.5% decline, with Bitcoin lower again today, crude to the downside, and decent spike in gold. It's Halloween, guys. Happy Halloween. Right. Good morning. We are here. It's Friday. We have tons of earnings reports. Sean, tell us who you are today.
Yeah, this is me. I'm a Mexican lucha libre wrestler here, and I actually got this mask. This is an official mask. Whoa, for the lucha libres. There, am I still on? I hope so. I dumped the mic there. I got this on my honeymoon in Mexico. So this is an official mask. I used to be a big wrestling fan. Still like it. Wearing the Trader TV today, but lucha libres, guys, will be going out as a Mexican wrestler. Although I'm not the right body shape for that.
Rey Mysterio, the greatest of all time. I'm wearing Mr. Incredible because my daughter picked this out and said, "Daddy, this is what you are, and this is exactly what you have to wear." There was a mask, but yeah, that didn't fit. It was not going to happen. It should be an interesting day today. Happy Halloween for everybody. Fun little theme we have going on here, but the theme in the market has been this little bit of a pullback. You had all the big earnings yesterday, of which Google managed to hold up despite, beats basically across the board. You are seeing a lot of names to the downside, some energy names reporting early this morning as well. So it's the end of the week. It should be a fun one. Should be an exciting market to trade today, guys.
Yeah, lots to get to coming up this morning, guys. Let's have a look at what's coming up a little bit later on in the show. We have another great video coming your way. My coming up button is not working. Let's try this one. Yeah, no, still not working, guys. So another great educational video coming your way about 11:40, 11:45. Valeria will have the link for you in the chat. We'll get that ready and preview that for you coming up. Speaking of Miss V, she is, you can't even tell. I mean,
put the color back.
I think we need color, guys. Valeria went to a lot of effort to put together. There we go. Yeah, I love it. Good morning, Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon. Thank you. And hey, guys, happy Halloween, everyone. If you joined us for the first time, please subscribe to our channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yes, let's indeed get it started, guys. We have lots to get through coming up in the next 25 minutes or so. We'll touch on everything that's moving around in the pre-market. If you haven't done so yet, sign up for the watch list. We deliver it to your inbox every single morning before 9 o'clock. When we come on, talking about all the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market and some of the reasons as to why they are. All about earnings reports today, guys. Let's touch on Twitter. First off, Twitter widely beat expectations with their latest report out after market yesterday, outside of the daily active monetizable users number that was a miss. 187 million versus 195.2 million expected. So that was the negative catalyst here for Twitter to the downside this morning.
Yeah, it's sort of like the double whammy. You have most of the tech names selling off on positive earnings anyways, and then B, of course, like you said, MDAU coming as a bit of a miss, or not a bit of a miss, a significant miss. Twitter was, crazy action. You see a 15% downside, so we are in short sell restricted territory. So, obviously that's going to adjust any, hitting the bid, that kind of thing, need an uptick. For some levels to watch out here, right on the 50 period, we're basically trying to bounce off like a 44 area as we speak. I'm looking at 42.50 as a level to the downside. Maybe Twitter can hold up to that. I'm not necessarily looking to have an obvious short position in this one today. First look for me will be, hey, if we can break back above 45, there might be a bit of a gap fill. I'm not necessarily thinking bullish. But my first look would be see if we can break that level to the upside. I think there's plenty of room for any bottom break. We're literally $1 away from the bottom, as you can see here. A little bit of price action off the bottom and able to ramp back up. So a bottom break could be there, but I think the first look is going to be whether 45, check that, can break through.
Yeah, we told you guys yesterday about Twitter and what was going to happen if that did break. And look, it was already priced to perfection here. I don't know how many, I think that was a funny one. Someone said Nacho Libre. That was great. I love, that's Jack Black, I think, right?
Yep.
He's fantastic. I'm not going to be able to wear this mask too much. I was hoping to get color on my face, but I don't know if you guys, which one's that one? This one? Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can see the red. I just want to make sure that everyone can see that. This is an authentic Lucha Libre mask from Mexico. So I went there for my Mayan Riviera for the honeymoon, and that's what it is. Okay, let's turn this around and let's go back over here, and we'll take this off in a minute. Right now, Twitter, we're talking about that. Here it is on the sell side. I got out of some. Brendan and I sat here and watched the earnings come out. As soon as it didn't go up, we were able to get out, and I actually waited and got some out here, 47.50, 47.30, or whatever it was in change as we were breaking downside. So remember, guys, Twitter was already priced to perfection. It was already up and away, up to 52, 54. We talked about that. I actually mentioned it yesterday when it was up 8 or 9% during the middle of the day to take some profits, and I think that if you did that, you were well done there. So the levels I wrote down, I tweeted it out, 46.50. I think if we can sort of see what happens around this area, we'll probably go long if it does break back above 46.50, guys.
All right, guys. Next one, Facebook. Another one with a positive report. Unlike Twitter, their daily active users number better than expected. So monthly active users, I should say, rose to 2.74 billion compared with estimates of 2.7 billion only. So beating on the top and bottom line, we had a decent move higher, tested lower, kind of back in the middle of the range here for Facebook, guys, from that aftermarket range, I should say.
Yeah, Facebook holding up. We mentioned Google's obviously, Alphabet's going to be up on the session, but Facebook holding up rather well, almost positive now that we look at it. That was not the story, of course. You're going to get these crazy spikes, and that's what's going to happen when you have earnings reports come through after market. But I was looking at a couple of levels here in Facebook. I don't know that we're going to get a shot at a dip buy all the way down to like a 267 and change. If we do, I think that would be an interesting point. We've already come back enough to maybe throw that out of the woodworks. 285 is the other level I'm watching to the upside. I do feel like that might run into a bit of resistance. Even if we try to get into positive territory in Facebook, it does feel like it's a lot of reasons the market could sell off here. And I want to be prepared just in case there's some exuberant or any kind of reversal buying to pick up some short sell trades here at 285 if I can on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, Facebook was a great number. I love what they're doing with everything. So Facebook, I think, goes to the moon today. I wrote down 280, but that's already breaking. So I did like this 280 level. That was the bottom yesterday, a couple days ago. So those of you that are with me here on Facebook, I know a lot of you have been taking some of these trades we've had lately. I love a 280 long, but it's just bouncing around there right now. So I'm not sure that's going to be anything after all. So let's just take this break, and let's take it pretty hard, guys. 281.80 or so on the upside, maybe 281.50 you could take. The high wick there is 281.71. It does run into some problems on the backside here from yesterday afternoon. It's sort of where we closed was 280 bottom, 282 top. So you could get some choppy areas there, but a breakthrough of 282 I think it's fantastic. It's just a great quarter. I've already showed you it's above the 50-day period now. We showed this to you yesterday. A nice little run from 263, and I think it can break out today. So I'm looking for a 285 break, and then after 285, man, you could see 290 and whatnot. So watch out. I think Facebook could run here pretty good today.
All right, guys, pretty tight range here in the pre-market for Starbucks, another one that reported aftermarket yesterday, obviously hit with pandemic-related declines as far as same-store sales revenue for the quarter, all a little bit below expectations. Their forecast going forward also coming in at the bottom end of their prior forecast. So a little bit of a negative look here for Starbucks, but is this to be expected, I guess?
Yeah. I mean, I think it is because China, because a lot of people stuck at home. Remember what quarter they're reporting now. So this is basically in the teeth of the summertime here and going through what's already been happening with COVID. So yeah, Starbucks is going to take a little bit of a hit. I know they're back, man, and they're back with a vengeance. I saw that the rewards was up on the subscriptions for the rewards. So look, I like Starbucks. I wrote down 86.50 here as a level, and that's just sort of where we're bouncing. I think if we can hold 86.50, it's right down here to the downside. That should mean something. However, I also don't mind a break to the downside here. I mean, Starbucks down 1.6%. I know, you're going to have to wait for this one. I don't really have a super solid opinion here. It goes up and then back down. They didn't know what to do with the report. I believe it's just down because of the market right now. So I do think Starbucks has definitely a runway to go up, 87.20 on a break. I know these are just breakout trades. So I would think that if we can hold 86 down here, then you'll be okay. But I'm really looking to see if it holds this 86.50.
The interesting thing is it's only done like 27,000 in pre-market volume, so I almost care a little bit more about some of these higher levels. I did have two things written down. I like that 86.50 as well, Sean. I just don't love Starbucks for like a 9.29 opening trade, so I don't want to have any kind of breakout, even a dip buy. If it holds the low, I don't want to have that until the market is opened up and liquidity has come in, because what if there's a significant level to the downside, which is even better, like an 85 area, that it might fall into on low liquidity, and we've seen that happen before. So I wouldn't hesitate to maybe buy that kind of a dip. I just feel like with this little liquidity, spread's okay, but 27,000 shares really isn't a heck of a lot post earnings. So Starbucks might be one of those. Let it make its way in the first 5 minutes before getting in.
Next one, maybe the biggest one of all, obviously Google's parent Alphabet reporting bigger and better than expected earnings right across the board. They beat on pretty much every number you can have a look at. I wrote down a few of the key ones in the actual watch list this morning. Again, guys, if you haven't signed up for the watch list yet, just throw your email in the link that Valeria will provide to you, and we'll deliver it to your inbox every single morning for absolutely free. Revenue, the interesting one, I guess, up 14%, $46 billion on the quarter, guys.
And look, nothing can make me happier than this one. This is, I told you guys yesterday, this is the single largest holding in my portfolio. So yeah, we'll hit a explode money. A good report finally came through from Google. Google's normally the one that doesn't put out good reports, although their numbers are always super solid. They just tend to, come back a little bit. So really happy with the up 7% right now. We are actually starting to move a little bit. We did just test 1690 there to the top side. And remember, just because this is a larger, like it's already done 90,000, which is pretty good volume. Remember, just because this is a larger stock doesn't mean you can't trade it. I know a lot of us might not have the funds in our account to trade one whole share, but you can trade hopefully part shares on some of your brokerages. So you can do that. We'll be looking at 1700. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but that's where we stopped a couple times yesterday. 1704, the ultimate top there. I really like a 1706 break. That's great, but if we're going to get a little bit more cheeky with it, 1687. So I think I'm going to put an order to go long through 1687 here on Google. It was just a great report. Greg was talking about it and said, how many of us don't use like minimum 3, 4, 5? He said 10. I think that was too much. Google products in a day, and you'd be really surprised at what they're doing. Also, remember Fitbit, that's going to look to close as well. So there's lots of things happening with Google right now. I think the more and more I keep saying this, the more and more I see these guys talking with the government, the more and more I like them. Yeah, they're a monopoly. Guess what? Nothing you can do about it. Split them up, and we'll see what happens. This thing goes to $3 grand. Also, I think that if they split the stock, that didn't come in the report yesterday. I thought it may have. If they split the stock, you've already saw what Tesla did and Apple did on splits. So if that ever does happen, I love Google, guys.
Yeah, this would apply, and you mentioned the DOJ there. This would apply to both Google and to Facebook. Anytime, and Ed Zuckerberg literally saying, regulate us. Anytime you have the large companies that are not against further government regulations, that's because it's a barrier to entry. Most monopolies and oligopolies exist because they have regulations that are in place would make it harder for new entrants to come in. So don't always assume that those things are going to be a negative. Watch out for any of those breaks getting into that 1726, which is the top. That wasn't yesterday, of course. That was a few weeks ago. I'm looking at a 1650 to 1665 target area. It's like $100 from where we're looking at that same price range yesterday to see if it would hold. And it initially did to the downside before, of course, earnings came through. So watch that 50 to 65. I think that's sort of that range-ish area, if you want to call it, that if it holds, I think we're going to ramp. If it does not hold that, I think it's participating in a sell-off like the rest of the market does.
So a negative look for Apple. iPhone sales, the big number, 20.7% decline in iPhone sales for Apple's latest quarter. Again, it comes back to that iPhone 12 being released later than normal. They didn't release the iPhone 12 until October, which is much later than usual. A lot of people waiting maybe to upgrade to the new one because of 5G technology as well. So overall, guys, I mean, yes, Apple's negative. Yes, iPhone sales were down, but I mean, it's to be expected, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know what's to be expected anymore, other than I want to buy more Apple and as much Apple as I possibly can. But that's not going to happen until about a 106 or so. Check the daily chart here. Crap, we still don't have this fixed. Okay, it's going to be hard to see, but 106 or so. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit more, make it a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. This is the kind of level that we're talking about. So here's the last couple days. We did get high up at 126. Obviously, the market's come down a lot in the last 2 weeks. You guys already know that. Apple's always going to lead the way. You talked about the percentage it is in the S&P, let alone the NASDAQ. So when Apple's down 4%, this is a buying opportunity. If you're not in, I'd put some money into Apple right now, but I do think we could fall, man, to 106, 105. That's a much better spot. That's only 5% from here. I think if Biden wins, I think you get a 10% correction in some of these names. So if you go 10% down from here, that's about 100 on a worst case scenario. So why not start nibbling? So that's the daily chart. I think that's reasonable. If you started to make a position now in Apple, you're not going to see Apple down 4% too many days, but you will see it up 4% a lot of days. So I like this, man, 1140. Look, there's going to be a lot of people caught with Apple for sure. A lot of people long going to want to dump off open. So I look for it to protect 109.50. If 109.50 breaks, look out below. But I like this high, and I think it's going to be a good one. 111.40, but watch out, man. I mean, it's already 3 million shares. There's lots of liquidity. This thing could be breaking much before the open. And if it does, we'll put some bids down here, 109 and change, see if we can catch it. But I'm not holding it through 109, guys.
Yeah, I'm not as interested in the dip buy on Apple for the day trade here. Just if I think it's going to be a sell-off, and maybe it will be. I'm looking at 113. Like this price range here, a recent bottom, at least certainly if you go back far enough in the last couple of weeks, and then there was some chop below the zone before yesterday's run up, and I do think that if we run to the upside here, like $3 or $4, $3 from here actually, we might run into some chop and resistance to that 113 mark. So I want to be ready to jump into that. I am watching, of course, a good chance if you get into that range, that's right where the ES would be approaching maybe its highs as well. So might be a quick little turnaround off that price.
All right, guys, let's go over to Netflix. So many things to look at today. Big move up yesterday afternoon, late in the day, for Netflix shares after they announced a price hike for U.S. customers. Standard subscription going up $1 to $14 a month. The premium $2 to $18 a month. Netflix kind of quiet here in the pre-market, guys, but still top end of the range from that move up yesterday.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. It felt like it was an overreaction when they made the repricing. I mean, Canada had a similar boost, so I don't know, probably shouldn't have been surprised that this was coming. And I think that's a little bit borne out in the fact that we're coming basically halfway back and then holding a steady range. Yesterday, we were looking at 483.50 as a breakout price for the afternoon before we left the show. Obviously, that would have been okay, but it's worth noting. I mean, Netflix still in the lower end of its range, right? So you have this 507 area, 506, 507 as the 50 which I think is going to run into a bit of resistance. We came all the way back to flat on this number. It just feels to me like, we probably have some trouble if we get to that 506 to 510 range in the top end. And I'm probably, it sounds like a broken record, but the market's going to sell off. It feels like Netflix, if it's going to be in that range, that's something you can join the party with. All that said, that same 480 to 483.50 price, that we were talking about for entry yesterday, that looks pretty good to me if we get down there to start picking up some longs. I got a couple of positions here that I just want to quickly update on. Thank you for the super chat. I did see that, Marzan. Yeah, it's BLRX. If I had a crystal ball, knowing that it was going to go down, I would have 100 bajillion shares. It's just, there is no crystal ball when it comes to some of these retracement trades. This is on our watch list, of course. I know we don't get to all of them. It's just a cancer drug developer. They basically had some positive test results, but here's the key thing here, right? You have a stock which has essentially been trending slowly to the downside. You get a spike up into 1, 2, 3, 4 times resistance at 260. 4 times at the same price. It bounces off there in the pre-market, tries to consolidate higher the first time. I actually did a bit of a breakout long that I immediately got out of because it didn't work. And then when it tested that same area again, yeah, if it wants to start rolling over, it failed topside. I got in short. When it consolidated, I continued the short. Now, I will always take some profit in front of the first resistance point, just 10%, and then the same thing in front of 2, and then the same thing in front of 195. Hopefully on the way to 150 close yesterday, maybe we get something like a 175 target. So that was my thought process there. It's not necessarily a crystal ball, just looking at some of these levels.
All right, next one, guys. Under Armour, a nice quarter for Under Armour. A bit of a surprise here because of obviously the pandemic hit quarter, but nice numbers right across the board. Per share, the revenue both topping expectations. They talked a little bit about COVID-19 negative effect for the quarter, but overall definitely an unexpected beat here for UAA.
Yeah, I'm already long UAI. I love this stock right now, 1507. I mean, look where we went long. It actually ripped up into the money for us, 40 cents there. So, or not 40 cents, 35 cents. We're long at 07, I believe. Yeah. So, look, Under Armour, another one. I trade UAA, more volume than UA. So, this is it's the voting shares versus non-voting. So, I'm going to stick with the volume. 870,000 shares today. Yeah, I like it. A good report. They've been beat down for so long. And look, guys, it's the very, very same play again. Just like Tupperware, just like Harley Davidson, just like Snapchat, just like them all. It's breaking out, and it's breaking out past these levels. It would have been better if it wasn't as high right now, and we could maybe get in around here, 1475 or so. But I do like everything that Under Armour is doing. Good report for sure. Solid on the way out as we look at some of the numbers here. Yeah, apparel revenue falls. But right now, obviously COVID-19 creeping its head on this. But you know what? Think about Lululemon as well. I mean, a lot of people at home, a lot of people chilling out, wearing athletic gear. So Under Armour obviously doesn't have the Lululemon name anymore. Under Armour has fallen on itself a little bit with Kevin Plank, former CEO, was a stud, then turned out to be a little bit of a dud. So we'll wait here on Under Armour. But again, if we can get it like 15-20, I mean, it's going to be breaking through that. I would think that I could go long in the 15s here. So we can get it backside about 15. I'll take it. Out is going to be 14.50. So we're not going to hold this thing for too long. But it's already an 11-cent win, so we'll take it so far, and then look for it to blow out the top here. I'm going to try to get long more, 15-20, but not too much.
I like it, Sean. Literally, my outfit here is just a T-shirt, but it's cold in this place. If you guys haven't heard, and I got an Under Armour shirt underneath. I just on the daily chart here, you have this previous top around this 1465 to 1470 area, and you can actually see a turquoise line like that. My bid is on a dip back in to that previous resistance point, right? So if I can buy at that price, I'm going to be all over it. That's just in front of like that 50 to 70 area, so it's like a mid 60s order that I have on Under Armour. I'm ready to take that one if we get any of it, bit of a dip buy, and I just like previous resistance turning into support. Same old story with that. And wowzers, I like it. I think we're going to be getting to Tarun in a second here, Brendan. And he is looking like a certain superhero as well.
I want to talk about the airlines real quick here, guys. We had big moves up yesterday in the entire airline space. There was some positive, obviously, COVID developments, vaccine developments. So I just want to mention this one as well. It's also on the watch list. Spirit Airlines here, big move up yesterday, opening near the top end of the range. So this kind of 1730, 1740 area. Worth a look. They reported earnings as well that were bad, obviously a loss, bigger than expected. But they did say that their bookings for the second half of the year were already on track to beat prior expectations, even kind of counting in the COVID and pandemic-related decline. So worth a look, I think, today, guys. Let's go over to Arun and have a look at the futures. We're negative still here, Arun, but on the way back up. Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, we're having a little mic issue, I guess, with Arun. We'll touch in with him if we can before the open, guys. But why don't we have a look at some of the airlines here while we have a second, guys. Save, big move up yesterday, kind of led the group, as I was mentioning, to the upside. But airlines were surprisingly strong, I'd say.
You know what? The only positive thing is that we were talking about Spirit is the one to play into, and I have a level written down for that I don't think is going to come into play. And I was looking at about 1670. It's holding up on lower volume right now. You have it shot, and it just turned positive like seconds ago. But just remember how tight the range has relatively been here. So even if you get a break off the 50 period, it's right at the 17 mark, and then maybe it's a swing into like another 10% move. I just don't think it'll be absolutely gangbusters. But I think there is a shot to break through the high here and maybe grind higher, but it is the issue with the market possibly selling off. And yes, I think Save is one of the stronger names. I just don't necessarily think it'll be a home run today if you're thinking past $19, even in an up market.
I'm looking at NEO here. Yesterday we had a monster trade and we had no idea how high this thing was going to run when it broke right here, 28.50. We had this and then it just ripped all day, every day, it seems like, for NEO up to 32.20. So I think we could do that again, man. I mean, it's starting to ramp up right now. NEO getting going. I mean, obviously it would have been a much better buy down here at 31, but it's approaching that 32 level quickly. Let me know if we have Arun and we can go back to him. Here's NEO on the sell side right here, 210,000. I actually, my earpiece is working, but I don't know. I don't hear anything. Okay, Pinterest sell side, 440,000. I guess we're ready for Arun.
All right, guys, so quite a bit of activity from yesterday. You know, when 4 of the top 5 tech stocks come out and report on the same day, markets get blown wide open. That's what you're seeing today. 3,300 on the top end, 3,225 on the bottom end. Wide range. I got 33.45 above that as well. So between 32.75 and 3,300, I am looking for some shorts, especially towards the end of the day. I think there's going to be a lot of activity, especially towards the end of the day. It's the final Friday before the election. There's a lot going on over the weekend. A lot of people don't like to hold anyways. I'm not providing a direction, but I am going to say there's a lot of expecting a lot of activity towards the end of the day. But I am keeping an eye on 3,300 and 32.25 on the top end. Between 32.75 going into 3,300, we're right there right now. So in this area, I am looking for some shorts, trying to use that 3,300. Of course, we can use that 33.45 if we get through there as well.
Okay, thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in with Arun coming up on Monday. I was just going to mention MGen here, name we were looking at earlier in the week, if I can pull it up on the chart. Yeah, gapping up here a little bit. Once again, 10%. So this thing's had 2 or 3 days now to the upside, guys. Another one, this Miragen moving once again.
Absolutely, and that was on the watch earlier this week. We keep telling you guys, you got to make sure you watch some of those things day 2, day 3, even day 4. A new one here, Air Industries Group, AIRI. This over on the Amex. Positive surprise profit for this company, but keep things in perspective. Daily chart. I didn't have an obvious level until you go all the way back into literally the beginning of the year at $2. So when you had a failure at 192 this morning, and you see this kind of weakness on a pullback, got to be involved in that. We were able to get locates finally here at this point at 145. That's the rollover I took. I got 45s and 47s on the short side. I just got some out in front of what was the low of the day, 38, and then again at 135. So already a few winners on. There is one more that we have, but EQ, I think we'll talk about that in a quick second. But we have only 90 seconds to go here, Sean. So good time to recap some of the opening strategies.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the opening. So Hexo on there as a sell. I didn't know that's marijuana. So we'll have to see if that's in play now today. Hexo, Pinterest, NEO sell side, not buy side. So we are looking for a buy in Twitter there as well. Yeah. So what I had here was Apple. Looks like it's going to go 1140. We're going to take that through if we get long in that one. And there we go. We just get long on a bad break, of course, due to that wick there. So we'll actually get out of some Apple right now if we can. And then we will try to go long again through 1140 on Apple. UAA, we already have that long, so we'll wait on that one. And then I like Microsoft as well, guys, breaking through. What's up, Brendan, quickly?
Guys, Hexo, they've proposed a reverse stock split of 8-1. So it hasn't happened yet, but a proposal for an 8-1 stock split, guys.
Yeah, there you go. I think certainly always worth watching.
And we're also long Microsoft right now, just in now 203.34. So again, nice little bumps up here in the market. We're going to go longs and we're going to hold it until the backside here of some of these names like 202.50 or so. We'll see if we can risk $1 on this Microsoft.
A name from yesterday, just watching pins as well, guys. It's down 2%, of course, being dragged down with the market going to get that countdown. Watch out for 61.50 breaking through the top, but already market time. It's Friday, Halloween tomorrow. We're celebrating it today. There's Valeria in the best costume of the bunch. Ring that bell.
All right, we're going to look at Twitter here. We're already into Microsoft. Microsoft already a nice little win. Wait to see what it opens up here. In the money now, 15 pennies is Microsoft, but it could come back down to the downside. Watch out as these futures look to rock and roll here. Microsoft moving up, guys. Let's take out a little bit here.
AIRI, Airy, I don't know, I'm just going to call it that. It continues to slide. I'll get some out in front of a $1.25. I got that 146 short. We're already about 10% in the money here as it works to the downside. BLRX is the only one testing up here. Is that EQ, the third? And this was on our watch list as well. We did talk about this one a little bit here. A 7 even. It looks like it's breaking back to the upside. So watch out. I'm looking at a 740, 750 out. Profitability all the way down to that 650 range. But that's another short from the watch list EQ.
Okay, 1110. We're into everything now. We're into Apple. We're into Microsoft. Things falling down. We did take a little bit of Microsoft off here, like we said. So in 203.30, out 203.60. Watch out for the futures here. We are kind of turning around a bit. Apple, we're in right now at 11.45. That was the level that we gave to you guys. So we're long Microsoft and we're long Apple and we're long Under Armour. Under Armour hasn't even opened yet, though, on the New York. So that's going to be a good one. We're going to wait on that and see how high that goes. Stop at 15.50. So we'll put an order there and see if we get out for 40 cents on that name.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly go back to Twitter for a second here. It's holding steady. We were talking about that 45 level test. It looks like the first move is going to be down. I'm going to use that as resistance. If we ever try to get back up, I still like the break if it's going to be an up market, but first look, looks like we're selling off. Let's get any kind of a short pop of 44, 450. I'm seeing the same thing as you. Under Armour has not opened up yet on the New York, so I have my order to dip buy. I think we're going to have to wait for that one. It's for now holding upside, which the ES is moving up. So watch the fact that some of these tech names are coming down when you do have the market busting to the upside on the ES.
Okay, yeah, and here goes Microsoft. Big win now on Microsoft, 40 pennies. So we will go cowbell winner on this one. We got to get it out, though. Microsoft to the upside right now. Watch out for the futures. They're making moves, man. So that's going to be a good one. Apple not, though, right now. So we do take, bang, there it is. A nice little win right there on Microsoft. So chicken dinner winners to start the day. Here's a nice move on Softy, guys. 203.35, we're long. It's at 204.12 right now. A nice little dollar to the upside on Softy. Let's get some more out, guys. Big win here.
Here comes Save, guys. Approaching that 18 already very rapidly. We thought maybe as far as it would go would be like that 19 mark. If it pulls back to 17.50, that's where I'm doing a bit of a dip buy, guys. It's all shorts in the money for me right now on those small caps, but looking for some Save action to the upside. Spirit Airlines. Brennan, what's up, bud?
Trevena, TRVN, another earnings name here up this morning. Little biopharmaceutical stock, 8.5%. In fact, just popping up on a volume scanner, you can see trying to break through this 280 for TRVN, guys.
Okay, here we go, man. We're ripping to the high side right now. Out of Apple. Bang. Nice little win here. Let's see if we can just keep going, and going upside here is for sure. A nice little out on Microsoft in 203.30. Out the first leg 60. Out the next leg 94. Out the next leg 17s. So let's just keep riding into the high side right now. UAA, we're 3 for 3 right now. UAA in the money. Not open, I don't think yet. We'll wait to see.
Nope.
Microsoft in the money, 60 cents. And a big winner for Microsoft as well. And then Apple in the money, 25 cents. But obviously wanting a little bit more on Apple. We'll see if that one can go. Big time trading here, guys. We're going to get out slightly before 112, and then we'll just see, man, what a big day already for us. Let's go explode the money. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself on this spooky Friday.
Definitely spooky. Nothing spooky about Spirit Airlines. One airline was given to you, Brendan, coming to you guys to talk about it twice. A bit of a dip buy here at 17.50 on the way up. It is already approaching 18 even. I did try to chase a few more shares in here in the 60s and 70s, but you are seeing it approach at 18. I think I get some out in front of that even dollar just because we like those round numbers. So watch out as the market is booming to the upside, and we got Spirit here. Under Armour just opened right at 15. I'm going to look to buy the first dip into that 14.50 area.
Yeah, UAA, let's go. I'm parked down there as well. Let's get some more long if we can. Nice out on Microsoft. Nice out everywhere, guys. Like Microsoft's a great out. Apple was great outs as well, up to 111.95 out. Out a couple times in the 70s as well. So we're riding this pretty high today, guys. Let's see how much we can take off this. The market, though, now starting to come back down. So we don't want to turn winners into losers. Microsoft's still 50 cents. We got to watch out for our Apple trade, though.
Yeah, definitely all about making sure you maintain. Got to take some profit off, as I did on my shorts. But I want to go back to Twitter quickly because it's getting a bit of a bounce. And if the market's going to turn off of these highs, I wanted to short into any pop on Twitter off that 45 level. So I'm going to dip into a little bit here. Long and save, that's working. Spirit, but only in the money about 15 pennies. So I need more than that on Spirit Airlines, guys. Here comes Under Armour towards that 1460. Brendan, what's up there, bud?
Another earnings name, guys. MoneyGram here. MGI up 20% on the day, trying to test these day highs as well. Big time volume earnings good for MGI, guys.
All right, MGI. We're going to get out of our Microsoft right now. There it is. Bang. Nice little win there. Pigs get slaughtered, so we'll get out of that one. Rode it all the way to the high side. These are each out 20%, so 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, and we're done. Same thing here on Apple. We'll wait to see what that's going to do. We did not. We were waiting at 76 here on Under Armour, so we'll see if we get longer there with an out to the downside there. But everything so far so good today. It's been a big day. I hope you're enjoying it. We do got to check back on Google. Oh, my God, I forgot to put the order in on Google because I was waiting for it to open and didn't want to get in early. 1687. Okay, that did not break yet. So I'm still looking at this and we can put this order in soon. 1687 to take out the top. However, 1680 now looking even better here. Possibly a nice long 1678 on Google, guys.
I'll go with this one. I don't know what's going to happen when I hit this key, but no. Yes! Halloween party. There you go. That's what we're talking about. BLRX, like we said, we rolled into this short here in the 225 range. It just broke that 15, so we'll continue to take profit in front of 2. When 2 even breaks, I'm watching 195 and 175 to the downside. But the big one is EQ. We're going to be a short side on this. I did show you this just before the open, I do believe. Even got a bit of a pop here into that 730. I talked about that 750 area. The second it started reversing, jumped into some more shares at 25. Just got some out for a 40-cent win here. Going to work this one down to about 650. This one closed at $6, so it might only have another dollar to go, or about a dollar range from that 7 even entry. But everything working, with the exception of Twitter right now. I do have that short on in Twitter off of that 45 area. I haven't added to it yet just because of how strong the move has been. So I still have like a 44.30 price. It's going to have to start rolling over. I'm just going to give up the ghost and not fight this beast through 45. The market looking a little bit strong here, trying to get positive on the ES. If we break 45, I'm done with Twitter. If we start rolling to the downside, I'll add some more shares only at the 70 range. It's got to be that price or nothing, but I think we're busting the top.
Yep. I think we're busting the top too. I have 45.75 written down to go long on Twitter. So Microsoft, we did get out of that one. It's bouncing around. The only other problem right now, it's not a problem, but Apple, we're still positive on it. We're just waiting to see what this wants to do. It looks like it's coming back down to the fade side here. So AAPL, we're not going to hold this for too long. We do have some outs down here, 110.20, like to the bottom. I'm not going to dump Apple here too early. If it does break above, I do like the long again here, 111.74. That's kind of the highs that we've had. So we're going to go long again if it breaks through 111.75. We're already long at 45 here. So this is a big day for us, and it's been good so far. Google, we're looking at that one. NEO goes the other way, so we still have some potential to watch with NEO. We were looking at a 32 break, just in case it took out yesterday's high. But here it comes, back from the dead, NIO. Let's look for some spots to get long. We got to watch out for this market, though, man. It's the one that's moving around here.
And I'm going to go with this one. Let's try Mind Blown. I don't know. There you go. It's all new. I have no idea what those are going to look like. We talked about Spirit into 18. I just took some out at 85. So you'll get the 50 break, which I had to chase up there all the way to like 60s. So we'll take a 25-cent win. It could have been like 30 to 40 if I get a better execution. Now we're looking for the break at 18. I think I'm going to be playing any kind of a pullback in towards that 19 range. I just didn't expect this to happen so fast. I thought 19 would be more like a lunchtime price target, but about to break 18 even upside. Pinterest also triggered, and I told you guys about this one trying to break out through the high. It's holding the top end of the range. I'd like to add to this 1 through 61. Of course, we know pins after its earnings, absolute blowout. So you do have to watch out. If it goes below 60, certainly there could be some profit taking in this name, but it's been so strong lately. I'd like to break out in this name. You could have taken Twitter as well, but I just sort of preferred Pinterest here. That's why I got out of the Twitter short and into Pinterest long.
Okay, Apple's still just bouncing around here, not doing anything. We made a keystroke error on NEO. I wish we got in and got out, but I was waiting for 31.30. So any sort of trade you saw on NEO was not. That's why we got in and out right away. I'm still waiting for this 31.30 level to break, sort of where we opened. So we'll wait to see on that one. Apple just doesn't look like it wants to go, man. The market is trying to go higher, and Apple's not. So this is not the strong one, man. We're gonna have to go over to Facebook. What's up, Brendan?
Another one to look at here, guys. Earnings name software maker Zen here up 10%, trying to push highs as well. 117 was a bit of an area in the pre-market. We're right there, big time volume for Zen after better than expected earnings. It's worth mentioning right across the board, pretty much everything on the watch list today, guys. There were multiple analyst moves in addition to the actual earnings. So this is another one, Zen, with 2, 3, even 4 different upgrades today, guys.
And I finally get the dip buy, and so add to another this long position is going to be a UAA. It does come in Under Armour, of course, 1465, which is right where I was sitting. This is a bit of a strong move down. This is going to be one of those trades where I think you got to give it to at least like 1420 to 25 down here. But if you get up towards the high of the day, that's going to give you a good risk to reward. I got to take some off only on the north side of 15 for it to make any sense here. But we got to see if we can hold the bottom. Spirit Airlines did just run into a bit of resistance on me here. Like I said, I took some out in front of 18, maybe not close enough. But to the dime, 18, a bit of a pullback. I still want to play this more to the long side, and that's going to mean, let's see if I can dip by around that original entry point, somewhere in the mid-60s, if at all possible. As far as the small cap shorts go, I'll go over to ARI for you guys. This one, another test up at that 150. This is the problem with watching too many stocks at once. I was able to reload on EQ. I was able to sort of make some trades and save and Under Armour and pins here, but I did miss what might have been a better reload at 145, 150 on AIRI. Just got some more shares out at 136. Again, whether I get this rollover or not, once it tests it, I do need to take some more out here at this bottom, just in case it forms a double bottom and hits the top on me.
Okay, so we've averaged into some more Apple here. Are you going to use 109.50 or so as the bottom downside, like sort of where we were yesterday? Not as far as that, but that's what we're going to use here. Look at the NASDAQ, man. They're falling like crazy. So you're not going to get winners if you're long when this market is doing that. Under Armour looks like it wants to break through 14.50. So that's a trade right here, Under Armour, that we'll look to get out if it does break through 14.50. Maybe like 4, I don't know, we'll see the area. It's not a big position for us. We waited on that. We took more shares right here at 74. So that's where our average price is 86. So in there, and then tripled the position down on this spot. So that's why we have that price. So let's wait to see if Under Armour can go to the high side. But right now, yeah, nothing but fail time here for Apple. I may dip in one more time here just to see if we hold this 1020. But other than that, man, 109.50 or so we're going to get up. We're going to dip in one more time here to Apple.
Pins starting to come back a little bit here. Pinterest just back towards the high. There was a shot to dip back into some more shares on the pullback at 61, but you can see how rapidly that happened on the 1 minute where it just came in, bounced too fast for me to catch anything. If it goes another time, I don't like to dip by. If I don't catch it the first time, I'm not going to force it the second. I'm not taking anything off in Pinterest until we get towards that 62 mark. You can sort of see I do have an order out there at 61.90 or so. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Another one from the volume list this morning, guys. AbbVie here up 4.75%. Was 5% up there. Broke 85, but a bit of a pullback here. So we are seeing volume coming back in through 85 for AbbVie, guys.
Oh, that's
good.
Full copy.
Good to see for AbbVie. I own that one. That's another big dividend play there, AbbVie. Okay, so we did try again 110. We didn't try yet. We're gonna keep trying. We're gonna be building it in here to 110 or so. And this is just basically one average in here. And then we're gonna do it one more time, and that's it, man. Averaging in twice is enough for me. So we'll do that at the bottom, and then if it gives it up downside, that's what it is. Look at the NASDAQ coming down, right? So good thing we took off all the profit here on Microsoft, although this is holding up quite nicely, man. Apple may be broken, and I said you got to buy things on the third day. This is Microsoft's third day. So let's see if that can hold through here. Microsoft holding high side still when Apple is the one that's falling. What's up, Brent?
Just checking on NEO. Yeah, NEO downside at this point. Look at Li Auto. Just took out that high from yesterday. Big volume coming into Li Auto through 2150 there, guys.
Just want to go back over to this EQ quickly. I don't know that we mentioned this. For those who aren't following along on the watch list, it's just a small cap, a biopharm here that had positive, phase 3, beginning of phase 3 clinical trial. We're looking at the higher time frame. You are going to see this is, of course, That's Pinterest, and one of my charts is frozen. But I can show you the spike that it had up going into the aftermarket, and then a hold at a lower price here. And this is going to be on the 15-minute chart. Once it consolidated, we grabbed the shorts around that 7 consolidation. It came back up and retested 725. I'm going to be taking shares off every single time it tests a new low. 675, I mentioned to you. I got some off there for a nice little 30, 40-cent win. I still think this thing can get down to 650. That's a decent target for me here. Under Armour back to flat on the long side. Spirit back to flat on the long side. Pinterest back to flat on the long side. So all my shorts and small caps in the money, all of my longs are basically flat as the market looks like it's coming back in here.
Yeah, big time is coming back in, to say the least, I would say, at this point. We'll take another long here, and we'll try it, this time Facebook. Yeah, everything's just falling down, man. I'm trying to see, and we're not taking a lot of shares. We're going to use this one, like 270, 80 or so as the bottom. I'm not trying to, like, be a hero here or anything. We're just trying to see if this market does want to rebound. I'm trying to get into some stronger names. Like Facebook right now, it has like a 20-cent spread. Obviously, it's earnings, so we know that that's going to happen. Okay, there goes Apple breaking through 109.50. Let's wait to see if it does come back up. We're still holding a little piece of it, but Apple for now, flushing ourselves down the toilet because our position was what, 110.40 or something like that? Whatever it was. Yeah, here it was 110.50, 110.12 there. Dropped it off at 109.60. Let's see if that can hold the rest. Right now, though, we are back to long Facebook. I said we noticed Apple weak. Facebook, I've loved that report. Let's see if it can hold high side, man. Market falling down, though, guys. I'm not sure. Brendan, what up?
Yeah, futures coming in here. Another one, Bloom Energy here to the downside. BE reporting aftermarket. Bigger decline in profits than expected for Bloom Energy. So straight southbound here after it tested 14 at the open there. We're down to $13 for BE.
I'm not going to let Save get past the 1750 range. It looks like it's already starting to pull back. I mean, obviously yesterday I think was probably the better long. You didn't have both Friday looming election, also some of the tech and market dragging things to the downside in opposing of this trade. Now, if we can bounce off 1750, I'm going to have to take some off in front of 18, which is already proven to be a bit of resistance. If we break through there, I think we're still all good. I just don't want to fight this too far when there's a decent chance if you want to buy this thing, you might be able to get it at $17. And here I am long for a second time in front of that 1750 area. So if it breaks, we'll be all out of that one. It's only my shorts that are working out right now. And I'll jump quickly back to that BLRX. It's the only one that I did not let you guys know how it was going. It was looking really, really good, and then you're going to see one dip into $2. I told you to take some profit off in front of it, retesting towards the top end here. And there was a move off the open that it immediately retraced. If it fails around this 235, 240 and comes back in, that's the only way I would add to this short. This is the one that's looking the strongest of the 3 small cap shorts that I have, BLRX for sure.
Okay. Yeah, good trades on those names for sure. I see you, Brendan, as well. Good trade there. Okay, Facebook looking to break downside now. So we do have Facebook 270, 80, 270, 50, something like that. We're testing our longs. We're going to be down today. I mean, there we go. Look at these longs, man. They're not coming in. They're getting faded out. We have small losses on today. These are small cuts compared to what we were thinking about. I'd like to go long on some of these names, but you're seeing the market come right back down. Not a great day today. We could check out on Google. That was the strong one. Okay, still holding up. But again, if you want to go long on something, I think we got to find a spot on Google instead of trying these continuously weak names here, guys. What's up, Brandon?
Here's another one that's definitely strong. United States Steel X reported aftermarket actually moved to the downside following the report, but we're back to $10 here. Did fail the first time there at 10, but recent highs for X, guys.
And of course, consider one of the things that you gotta know about for the election cycle is going to be infrastructure. And any possibility that there's going to be good infrastructure spending, which is definitely going to be on the ballot, you're going to see United Steel look relatively strong here. I'm going to be watching to see if it holds positive on the session. I want anything which makes a move up and then holds support either at break even on the session or at previous levels. And looking at U.S. Steel, it's right around this $10 range. So call it $9.80. Previous close to $10. That's the chop zone that I wouldn't touch. Below it, I think, is a sign of weakness. Of course, above we can hold. I think we got to ramp long, maybe into the weekend on U.S. Steel. I just got to jump back over to Pinterest. That long does not work out. Tried to get a bit of a breakout on Pinterest, thinking it would go. The longs, no moss for me. The shorts, much, much better. Just broke that 60-80 on this little pullback here. So I'm going to dip away from Pinterest, step back into it, maybe if things settle down. But it's the shorts that are working for me, and I don't want want to fight this market too far with any of these long trades. I still have Spirit, but my stop is right at 50s, so I can only lose about 15 pennies, and we made a little bit more than that on the way up. And Under Armour, the good news of Under Armour here, guys, is it's managing to relatively hold up while the market comes back in, but I don't know how much longer it's going to hold that 1450 pre-market level. I'm giving it a little bit below that because I don't want to have my stop right at the even dollar, but it's only a few cents below it, guys. So if we break through and hold below, even for a little bit, I'll be all out of Under Armour and look for another trade.
All right, guys, 202.90. We're going to try it on Softy here. So we're into it right now, 203.34. It's been holding up, man. It's only down 0.6 when the market is down a lot. So we'll see if Microsoft can hold 203 here. That's been a big level. We talked about 203 yesterday. Let's just see if it can hold. This is going to be one of the last longs here that we look for before this market hopefully turns around. But we don't know. Microsoft here, positive on Microsoft. So we've made money on Microsoft. We lost on Facebook the same as we made on Microsoft. So really our net down is Apple today, but very, very small. Apple really not moving. Let's see if, oh, look at that bottom there, 119.70. Coming into play again. What up, Beep?
Carvana, guys, another one that reported. These names have been in focus of late. Carvana posting better than expected revenue for its quarter. Did have a move down here after market yesterday. You can see a nice spike heading into the open this morning, but they're selling this one as well. Still up 6% though for CVNA, guys.
I will go with this because I want to see it. Yeah, we'll go switch. And it's got a Raptor jersey. That's what I'm talking about. Raptors who might play out of the country next year. We'll see what happens there. AIRI, it's going to be a good one. No air ball here as it is breaking down towards the $1.25. You know I'm going to take some more shares off when it hits the $1.25. That's a nice little 20-cent winner on a $1.50 stock. But got to go back over to Spirit Airlines. Did I get greedy? Yes. Did I double dip back in? The only thing it's good is I think we're trying to not be stubborn and get out of this one when it breaks that 1750 range. But I certainly could have gotten more shares out in front of 18 even, and then not dip bot until right in front of that 1750. So maybe I got a little bit of FOMO, chased it maybe 5 cents more than I should have. Not the end of the world, but just looking back on it, the market was coming off here, and patience might have been a virtue on Spirit Airlines. So it was good in terms of the breakout trade. Just maybe the handling of the outs wasn't the best. I do want to go back over to Twitter, guys, because this one speaks for itself. Let's zoom in so you can see just how bad that is. I did have a short in front of that 45. What was the high of the day in the pre-market? It wasn't 45. It was 45.20. And where did it turn? 45.20. So I've done it again. A bit of a mistake there for me. That's lazy. That's sloppy. The short does come in. My stop was not in the right place. You got to give it to a little bit more room than that. That's what I tried on Under Armour, and that also stopped me out to the long side. So only shorts have worked for me. Every long trade has been a loser, and this should have been a monster on Twitter. It is what it is. Market's coming down. We talked about short in front of 45. What I should have said is short in front of the pre-market high, which is right there at 45.20.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's hard to pick the exact spots, guys, and that happens to all of us. And yeah, we just got to sort of live with it. We're going to go live with this on Microsoft here. See if we can't get this to finally go, man. 203.04 right now. Let's see if it goes. I don't know, man. Right now, the market just keeps on struggling here. We thought we had a strong name in Softy, but it doesn't look like it's that strong. What's up, Brendan?
Another Chinese name just popping up here. HUYA, online services company, just popping up on a volume scanner. You can see big spike at the open. We broke 2250 on the way to the upside. Not seeing anything news related on this, but HUYA, guys.
I think Apple can hold that bottom there. Apple right now, so we have a nice little win, or we did have a nice little win on Microsoft, but the market's just bouncing too much. 109, that was 108.80 on Apple. We should have gotten some more long down here off this bottom. So yeah, it might have just made that bottom. We'll wait to see. What is that? 108.85. I think we'll take a little bit more here, 109 and change, and then just try it one more time, guys. I just think Apple can go. Let's watch out for this market. Microsoft trying to go as well, hovering around this 203. We've liked this level, but there it goes, man. The market turning over again. So yeah, I guess we got to fight these longs, but let's just switch it over to look at some shorts now, guys. Google's still holding up though. GOOGL. That's the one I like. Of course, difference between Goog and Google. Voting rights only. This one tends to do a little bit more volume. Let's see if it can break. I do like this break again. maybe we can try it right here. 1650, guys, Google break. Let's try it.
So anytime you make keystroke error, you get out of a trade that you didn't mean to, like a BLRX here, just going to jump right back in. Now it's going to cost me like 2 or 3 cents here on a bit of a spread play, but again, it was an accidental execution. It never actually broke above this 240 range. So right back into it. It is what it is. I grabbed it back at 36, even though I just paid 40 accidentally to get out. I'm going to do the same thing as we were doing before, get out some in the 220s. And then get some out all the way down to 2 even. If it eventually breaks at 2 even, just watch out. There was some buying down around 195 that I think might be a bit of support for you for this stock. Like I said, it's only been the short so far, and it's disco ball pumpkin action, and I haven't seen that one yet. There you go. But if you were on the long side of these trades, I think that's some missed opportunities. That's Spirit Airlines. You had to have it right away. I think that was certainly going to be the best play. I do want to very quickly go back to our IPO from this week, just to go over route. And why is it not here? I'll go manually to the stock just so you can see here. Let's pull it up. Where are you? Just want to be able to pull up for you guys. I like this. I like the trading in these in specific ranges, but selling off rather heavily. Coming right down into this 24, and this is why I wanted to get your attention here. The volume is terrible, so I wouldn't stand in front of the train. I see no size on the level 2 down at 24, but it is sort of worth noting. It held this bottom in the afternoon. Let's see what happens when root. If it can bounce off that 24, I think I'd like to buy it in front. But just so you guys know, when I look at the level 2 here, it's not as if, and this is a different stock, I'll fix that in a bit. I didn't see any size or any support that stood out at that level. I just like it from yesterday. Brennan, what's up?
Going to be an onslaught of earnings today, guys. Plantronics, the next one here. PLT reporting aftermarket yesterday. They make these, the little earbud things, the electronics maker. Earnings were decent for PLT, but they have faded this again. $23 was the high there. Just before the open, which was this level. But back to 20.5 for PLT, guys.
Okay, we'll check out Plantronics for sure, coming up so soon, hopefully. Okay, here we go. Microsoft trying to go, man, or sorry, Apple going. We have 109.17 right now, so we can take some off maybe. If it can go, we'll take some 42s. There it is, a nice little win that side. Microsoft 17 cents in the money now as well, so we've got 2 longs. Microsoft 25 cents in the money, Apple 40 plus cents now in the money. We did try to defend that bottom, so we're making it all back now, guys, on these moves. So we're probably getting into Google soon. Here goes Softy. Let's go 30 cents. Let's go Apple right now, 40 cents. Watch out, VWAP 110, 30 and stuff and change. So we'll wait to see here going upside, checking out different charts on this system. Let's just see if we can't catch Apple. I guess, yeah, 110. We'll put some orders about 109.80 or so, guys.
I'm going to hit this one for you, Sean, just because I see it on my board, and it's like, oh, it's like a witch to the moon. Now, I don't want these to go to the moon. I'm only short here. Sean has the long trades on, but let's remember, I'm short these small cap names, guys. So these are all gap retracement plays. EQ, talked about the reload. If it tested back up to that 730 to 750, got some here at 32 on the way back down. A little more here in the 20s as well. And then taking it off at 7, taking it off at 97, taking it off at 95. I still am going to maintain my short position and like it down to 675 for more shares out. And I had a target of that 650. So I'm going to still hold on, even though I am taking profits. We like the scalp trade because we have direct market access. That's what we do. BLRX got right into that 20 range, so I took some shares off there. This one is looking a little bit stronger than the rest. Its consolidation has been at the top end of the pre-market range the entire time, whereas you're seeing both in EQ and AIRI, both those names showing us some weakness to the downside as EQ flushes again. I'll get some out in the 80s, so another 40-cent win on that one. It's BLRX, which is holding the top end a little better. I might be more aggressive taking some shares off in front of $2 than I would in some of these other shorts, which are working out much, much nicer. Still up on it, just should be a lot better than it is.
Okay, 28 cents now, 26, 27 cents. Apple coming back down now. Watch the market, man. Like, we can't get a break. It goes upside. We get out, so it's fine for 40 cents, but we still think there's more to go here on this name, so let's wait to see if that's true. Apple, we do have some offers out, like I told you, in the 60s, and then we'll wait to see what it does here at 110. 110.30 is the high side there. Again, I don't know. That'd be nice to get to that. Microsoft's falling back down. It looks like they want to buy Apple instead of Microsoft right now, so that's good. We are long both, though. Let's go. There it is. Bang! A nice little 50-cent win right there. So, yes, sir. Cheers. We'll do that as we go. We'll hit some bangs for you in a minute. We need Microsoft to go before we start doing this. But right now, feeling like a little bit of a gladiator on this Apple trade. Thank you, Miss V. Watch out. You're looking scary today. Wow. Get out of here. Yeah, you're welcome.
Sean, I like the gladiator one, but at least one time you got to go off the top rope. You got the luchador thing going on, and we're both wrestling fans back in the day, and you know all about what Rey Mysterio can do as a high flyer. Speaking of high flyers, bad segue as usual. Back to Spirit Airlines here. Yeah, whatever. That was horrible. I was looking for it to go maybe down to like 17 even. I think I talked about this, that opening range break, 17 to 17.20. That's where I wanted to dip by. You're going to see some consolidation lower than that. I'm trying to be patient because the market's not testing up around its highs, and maybe I should at least show you guys, not the NASDAQ. Let's go over to the ES here. Not exactly testing at the top end, and I'd like to see if we can roll back into this downside 3260, 3270 range, and maybe that gets you the dip buy in Spirit Airlines. I want to be patient because I've made on my shorts and I've lost on the long trades. I want to sort of stick with that read. It's not that I don't think we can't go upside here. I just want to make sure we stick to what's working for me. So I want to be patient on Spirit. And despite the fact that it looked good off the open, I don't want to force the dip buy in this particular NIM. I think we're going to get a shot at maybe some better prices.
Okay, so we actually are now into Google. We took that breakthrough 1650 as well. So we're into Google. That should be good. Apple just ripping, man. Nice outs. We maybe should get some more out here. 109 high side right now. We are long, 109.21. So hells to the yeah, guys. We'll pop some wheelies off here. Nice little win here for Apple. I think it's worth getting more out if we can right now as it's trying to go. I mean, I'm long Apple, Microsoft, and Google, right? So if the market does fade in, I got to be somewhat responsible and try to get something out on the high side here. So Apple, nice little win. We'll get some out in the 80s if we can. But now it's coming back. Okay, here it comes. Market coming right back down. We're using, just in case you guys know, we're going to use the bottom of Google to get out. We will take this $10 hit, 1640 if it breaks. We're going to be out of that one. But right now, we're only $3 out on this name. And Apple's trying to make a comeback. We're still in the 80s here. So if we can get that out on Apple, that'd be pretty sweet. Right now, it's 60-cent win, though, on it. So we'll take it. But we're looking for Google, Apple, and Microsoft. I'm all long, not good. Tell me it's good, Brendan. What's happening now, bud?
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. It is Friday. Unfortunately, yeah, red numbers right across the board to have a look at so far. The NASDAQ here in the U.S. leading to the downside, 1.5%. To the downside for tech stocks. The Dow about 0.5%, the S&P 0.7%. Everything else in negative territory as well. The Russell, the TSX here in Toronto, and the BOVESPA down in Brazil. If you're joining us in Brazil today, a full percent for the BOVESPA. A couple things from the watch list still worth a look here. Netflix down 2.7%, gave you that flush through 496, which was a little bit of support in the pre-market. This level never really came into play. It was 498. Below 500, really, just got absolutely flushed off the open there for Netflix. Even with the announcement yesterday of the price increase, they're selling it today. This one as well, Amazon, wasn't on the watch list, but big move down for Amazon after earnings, 31.50 down to 30. What is that? 75, I guess, was the bottom there. But straight southbound for Amazon. So this is why we're seeing the NASDAQ to the downside. Starbucks, another one. Earnings aftermarket, we're right back to the support area, 86.80, 86.75. It did test up to 88 there, which was this kind of low from right at the end of the day yesterday. But even Starbucks back to the downside. Guys, back over to you.
Ooh, SPUX, okay. Yeah, Apple's still going up. We did get out, guys, so we go fall in the hole there. We lose that straight 10 on Google. So now we fixed ourselves up, guys. 1655. We're going to wait for 1655 to break. We tried that 1650. We did have $3 in the money on that. We didn't take it, and then we lost 10. So that is, not a great trade. Obviously, losing $10 is not good, but this is Google, so okay, we'll lose that one. I mean, look at the spread. The spread is $4 right here, so we'll wait for that, and I'm going to take 1655 now on the break back up. Good out on Apple there. We were long at 109 trying to defend that level, and then out. So we made the money back on that one, but we did lose on another drop down. 203 finally breaks on Apple and we get out, or on Microsoft and we get out. So again, you know, in, that's out of 60%, lose on our last 40%. So that was a winner, but look how important VWAP was. Comes right to VWAP and turns around, so you got to pay attention to that, guys.
VWeezy coming into play. I'm trying it again here in Under Armour, not just because I got the shirt on, but let's see if we can't pick it up. Look, it did dip down towards this little, again, it's not a huge level in the pre-market. It doesn't really matter, but that 1420. And we did kind of mention it here. I just didn't have the conviction to hold the first long. But now that we basically are now holding that 1450 one more time in this consolidation in the 70s, I picked some shares up. I'll add to this. I'll give it to the actual low this time. But this is the one we're going to try and dig in to a long that I think should be the one to go today. We'll see what happens. It's been all the shorts that have been coming in for me here, and I do want to go back over to Twitter. I can review all three of the ones that you have in here, but I've talked about them enough for you guys to know. Twitter's still looking relatively weak. Let's go to a better time frame here so you guys can see in perspective of the gap down. There still is an opportunity that on any kind of a bounce, I could short the same price as I did before. All that said, you definitely have to give that through to the high of day and make sure the market isn't breaking out. Under those conditions, I would probably try Twitter again. But new position alert, it's Under Armour again for me to the long side. This time we'll give it to the low of day.
43.80. Yeah, Facebook just ding, 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 straight down. Keep going down. I mean, I will buy some more of this. I would probably buying plays on the second or third day. So we'll put some more Facebook in the account. I mean, I'm long sub 100, but it doesn't matter. We're going to put some more in the account here coming up soon. 260 and change. I like a 268 break. A couple bottoms there. We might come up and see that poking its ugly head soon. 268 coming soon. It just does flush down to 266. Maybe we can see some longer time frames here. If we call up this, we'll see what are we at here. So the 50 period is 271. We've just broke back down below that. That's not good. 267, 263. The daily chart not giving us much here. We're going to have to play 268 break. There goes Apple, guys. Big time move here. 60 cents in the money again. Let's see if it can hold it. What's up, B?
MoneyGram, guys, just won't stop. MGI 30% now after earnings. Just made another day high there through 590 on volume. Definite strength coming into MGI, guys, versus the market today.
All right. We just lost on Microsoft. Again, I got to fix these orders, man, because I have too many orders sticking out here. Okay, they all look fine now. Yeah, we meant to go short there, Microsoft, but then we got out. We did not mean to take that trade, so that's out. No problem. We lost 10 cents there, nothing. Here goes Apple, 65 cents now in the money. We'll see how high this one wants to go. I still think we have, bigger to go. 110, 16, 17. We may take some more on this break, guys. Hopefully Apple gets going right now.
I'm going to hit this one, and why not? Floating pumpkins. Why? Because BLRX is floating around this $2 to $2.40 range. It's solid for a day trade if you have the ability to have a direct market access, because that is still like a 20% range here. So if you are getting good prices, you can probably at least make half that, which is what I'm trying to do each time. But I've said it a few times here. The longer this holds above 2, the more you have to watch out for a top break. I don't even want to give this a high of day at this point. All that said, and I missed it last time, and apologies for me for getting the name. Brennan, I'm sure, remembers you crushed the stock you crushed, but I had a late entry point too. Brendan, I'm sure you remember it. But $2, if this does break, I'm going to look to maybe add to it on a breakdown. The longer it holds, the more you're going to like to break in either direction. And BLRX, it's been a winner for me, but they just got to watch out for that relative strength. Relative weakness, and I love you, Ari, here, again, making some fresh lows. Now, because it's consolidating off 125, I am going to go ahead and take a few more shares off here and just sort of sit passively on the 26 level and just wait for a fill. If it's going to make this bottom, I think we might get another bounce up that I want to be shorting into in the 35 to 40 range. Maybe when I get 145 is even better price. Under Armour, flat and not going, even though the market is trying to get back to the upside. What is it, Under Armour? Why can't you go?
Okay, we've got Apple going good side right now, guys. 109 and change we're long. We just took more at 110 like we talked about, and then out again. So things moving now for Apple. Right at VWAP, though, this is a dangerous spot. We are long Apple, making money back. So that's all good so far today. We were wrong in the beginning. We waited for it to settle down, then picked a long down here at 109, defending this 108.80. We go long again right now at 110.10. Back up to VWAP, just took it out for 15 cents. Obviously, we're looking for more now on the high side. We do also have Facebook breaking through 268. That goes in the money 40 pennies, but we don't take it. So yeah, a lot of things happening right now. The market is moving. Let's see if we can't continue to go high side. We did get out of our Google. Let me guess, that's probably back. Yeah, 1640. Not as strong as I thought. We need to get some bids in here. We're going to go long 1655 if it can take it out. Let's go, Facebook. You can do it, buddy. Let's see if we can't get some more out here around 268 and change. We are long 268 flat.
Yeah, I just checked out a Spirit just to make sure it hadn't made the flush on me here, but NEO off of 30 even. Wowzers. Look, anytime I see that kind of a quick retracement or pullback that strong, I know it's a high flyer, and you can, at your peril, you usually go short in something like a NEO. But if I see it make a move off the top and it's going to be $1.50 already, I see this 31.67. I'll give it a shot in front of it. I want an average price of about 31.50, so that I'm risking about 20 cents. And that way, it doesn't even have to break 31 for me to make a worthwhile from risk to reward perspective. It's just that, you know, the market is having a little bit of trouble here. NEO has been pretty extended. It is already holding a lower high the first time. If you go to yesterday's price action, that's why I'll take a shot here, starting at 31.34. Like I said, if it breaks 67 or 70 at the top, I expect to have an average price of 50.
Okay, I'm looking to get probably into some more Facebook here. But again, we do have 267 and change. Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, here goes Apple. Nice little win for Apple, man. We are long. This is $1 in the money. If you still have these longs, we're still holding this out. Watch out. There was some consolidation here. 110.60. Let's put an order out to get out of some of that 110.60 if it does rip up. What's up, Mr. Wiggins?
Some of the semiconductors starting to bounce a little bit here. ON semiconductor just popping up. You can see big volume spike here as we went positive on the day. It's or just positive on the day, but this one, guys, ON set to report before the market opens on Monday.
And I know all the big earnings, of course, we've talked about it ad nauseum here, did come this week, but there's still more earnings. And of course, you have the elections. Got my first entry and about to get the second one there into NEO. If it breaks through the top, I give it a couple of cents to a round number, and then just going to get out of it. This is just a pure a momentum play. If it falls back in, this is just hard out through high of day. Start taking it off right here around that 31 and then down into VWAP. Very, very simple structure to the trade. I'm not holding it through the high. That's reckless. Not holding it to 32. Not when you're standing in front of a moving train like that. Speaking of moving trains, train to the downside. Under Armour, I feel like might end up over 2 on this name. It's about to roll over. The only way I'm adding to this position, if we actually bounce off this low here, or maybe if we bounce off and consolidate 1450, that's not too bad of a sign either. But I tried it once. I still like Under Armour here. Just have to make sure I give it to the low of the day to be worthwhile. Still has a shot to break out if it gets back above that 15 mark. And the market is trying to hold up here as the ES just below positive on the day. It did just roll over a little bit off shy of that high.
Yeah, okay. We are getting some more Facebook here as, yeah, it does go down and take out that day's low, so we did get out, but it doesn't continue down. So I think we could have a decent trade here, hopefully on Facebook as we go long. Again, we're still holding this long, man, 260. It just does break the low, so we did get up. We got back in there, so if you still have this with us, I'm still trying to hold this maybe through 265 now on Facebook. If we go back a few days here, 265, this was 270. I don't know if we get back to there, but we're just trying to hold some of these levels on Facebook, going back down 266 and change. So we're long right now, man, 267.20. Not going good here for Facebook because it just keeps on tanking. The market can't get out of its own way here. We haven't had any shorts really today, I don't think. Now that I look at the board, Bitcoin not moving around. We got to switch up our game and try to go short here as the market. If we just kind of fade all these pops, let's look to see if that happens again and re-look at the game plan. But yeah, today, kind of a funny day.
How is Bitcoin not moving? You have the market coming down, the VIX is going up, the election's coming up next week. That should be at like 1,1500. But anyways, this EQ is like the only thing that is going basically exactly to plan. I mean, everything else has been like, as I look at BLRX, again, it's testing back to the upside. But if we break this 675 area, that's when things are going to get really spicy here. As long as it maintains holding below that 650, here's another push down. Look, it's going to be negligent of me not to try to get some shares out if I can and just miss that punch. Let's get some shares out again. Oh, I just tried to chase it a little bit, just an active order about 80, but I'm not going to chase it too far. I did want to hit it falls down. Instead of having a bid downside, sometimes what you want to do is just hunt on the level 2 on the offer and then hit one of those. But I didn't want to chase it deep into the 80s there, guys. It is starting to come back down. I think if we can flush off this level, I was trying to say we'll get to 650. I still do have a quarter of my position on EQ, so I still have a little bit here, more than I might normally have. I might only have like 20% in this situation after taking this much profit, but this has been the one that seems like it's the best for me in terms of these small cap retracement plays. NEO coming to the downside, but until we get to that 31 marker, in front of that 31 mark, I'm not going to take any profit off. I want to make sure we're making over 25 cents pennies on this one, guys. And that's the first part. If we turn around here, not a great sign for us. We get to VWAP. I take another leg out there as well. So NEO starting to work, but hey, it's not a winner just yet. Only in the money, about 15 pennies.
Shit, I had NEO. I thought I had NEO going long through that 80 level, but obviously that did not trigger either. Was looking for something. I don't know. I thought we had this trade, but now that I look at it, thanks for bringing it up. We didn't. I don't have it, which is fine. I just thought that would have been a good one. So yeah, let's look at this. 31 coming back down. There is VWAP here at 30.80 for NIO. We did get it.
Honestly, Sean, I'm literally saying to myself, this is where I want to take out the short at 30.80. So yeah, this is one thing that you guys should pay attention to. Might as well say it right now. This channel's about education. If I'm looking for a short and I'm saying to myself, 30.80, that's a good target out, and Sean's saying I want to go long at 30.80, maybe just pay attention to that price, regardless of what direction you like, what position you're in. Significant levels matter. So I just took some off here at 31.10. Wanted to lock in about 25 cents. That's what I got, and the rest I wanted at about 30.80. So no secret there. I did not know that's even what Sean was looking at as a price for a long. That's what I was looking to get out of my short. So there you go. Key levels matter. Brendan matters. Upgrades and downgrades matter. Let's go to the board. Where's Brendan's costume? Out of curiosity? What?
I have it. Here. See, I have it. It's fine. Upgrades and downgrades, guys. Let's get you a few more symbols to have a look at here. We've talked about many of these already, but Facebook, Amazon, Alphabet, all on this side of the page. Yesterday, we mentioned this one a couple of times. Yandex downgraded again today. Nokia has been moving around after earnings earlier in the week. Couple of charts here. Google, Alphabet to the downside. Talked about this, or Sean was talking about this, above that high and these levels up here, but straight southbound for Google, even with a couple of upgrades. As I mentioned, a lot of the things on the watch list today, guys, multiple analyst moves on pretty much everything, so just be careful. Yandex, one to the downside here after earnings, and a couple of downgrades. Big gap to the downside here for YNDX, 57.50 support right now, guys.
And I'm supposed to hit yeehaw, but whatever. I'll hit the floss. Why not? See, I love the fact that I don't, my COVID bald haircut that I was doing when my barber wasn't open, that's going to live forever as the floss, like the one time I was bald. Guys, if you like it in the chat, me with no hair, every time you guys say that it looks good, I can tell my wife, because that's the long-term plan for me before I go bald. Gonna get some more shares out. I talked about this 30-80 area. Sean reinforced it, of course, because he liked it a long break there, which would have made you 70 cents for sure. I'm going to take more shares, 31. I'll take more off in front of 90. The target is to be all out if we get to that 80 mark down at VWAP. For that particular trade, where I'm just shorting into the high of the day on a big move up, just looking for a retracement, that's nothing to say it's not bullish. It's just that I like some of these shorts a little bit better. I tend to have a better read. That's why you'll see me do those trades here. Because I've already dipped into profit here, it does make sense for me to then throw my stop at 31.50. I never got the rest of my shares. At this point, if it bounces up and retests the high, no reason for me to get back into it. That's not the type of thing that I would reload. I reload when I like that direction in terms of the trend. I'm not playing the trend here on NEO.
Okay, guys, we are playing the trend on NEO. We're long at 04, just taking some out right now. 10s, 11s, 12s, 15s, 18s there. Nice win to the long side. We still have this 80 looking at it. I mean, it's not rocket science. We've just talked about that. That is that VWAP spot. We'll look to get longer here, but nice little temporary win here on NEO. Long at 04 and then out there 14s, out there 18s. So good trade there on NEO. Obviously waiting for more upside, and we also get a little longer here ahead of 30.80 and then drop it off if that does come up. I mean, look at the futures, man. We're fighting it on other stocks. We don't want to fight this on NEO. It can retrace, obviously, all the way back down here to 30, especially look what this market's doing, man. It's Puke City right here, Brendan. What's up, bud?
Another day, another 52-week high for Tupperware. 2 days ago it was? Yeah, big earnings 2 days ago. Here we go again. Just broke that high from yesterday. 6.5% for Tupperware, guys.
Do as we say, not as we do. Every single day, you're going to hear at least one of us say, if it's on the watch list a couple of days before, make sure you're looking at it day 2, day 3, day 4, because moves can happen. I'm going to go with fall in a hole because Neil came down into my target. I'm going to be all out here, like I said I would, in front of 3080. It was just a retracement play to the short side, so it's always going to be a short time scalp for me there. First day live. Thank you for the super chat there, Marzin. BLRX. I gotta go. I'll go to this name, and if you're in this one, you've sort of seen me throw some caution into this, just because how tight the range is. That's a bit of a strong sign, so I don't know which direction you were in. I've been shorting it, but aggressively taking it out in front of 2, and if 2 breaks, I think that's when the home run trade to the south side will come in. But it's been relatively strong, man. If this takes the top off, maybe this is the one that has an afternoon move in it, or maybe a lunchtime move up. Under Armour, I wish did. Nice short on Neo. I just can't get Under Armour to work. It's testing the bottom once again. If it breaks the low of the day, I'm just going to have to get out that 14.25 mark that it made off the open. But BLRX has been a winner for me. Just caution. If it's a long trade you have, watch out for $2. If you are short and this thing squeezes through the high of the day, I would not be holding through that under any circumstances.
It's just everything looks so good long, but everything is so down. Like Microsoft, I mean, what? Look at this, just Like there's no green candles here, guys. We're down 2%. What a week this has been for the NASDAQ. I mean, look at the QQQs here, just to give you guys an idea of how far we've come down this week, guys. Here's the NASDAQ. 290, so basically 295. I mean, let's call this 2 weeks. 295 down to 270. We're now testing some of these bottoms here in the NQ, so watch out here. This is NASDAQ. If you do think this has made a bottom, you can go long the Qs here. I don't think that's a horrible play, but you can also pick the stocks themselves. Watch out now as the NASDAQ trying to make some moves back. We're back in 3084 now on Neo, trying to get it back here upside again. We can turn this positive. Not a big deal. We did take a loss there. We did get in and then out on that VWAP, back in on another VWAP break. So I'm still kind of bullish. If the market goes, I'm bullish with Neo. We saw what it could do yesterday. I don't think we go up 10% again today. That would be crazy, but I do think that there's possibly a bottom there somewhere around where we're in right now at 84. So we'll wait on this one, but I still think there's some more upside possibility here for NIO, guys.
Oh, I'm trying to get it just in time here if I could. Where is my airline one? There it is, the airplane. Not to say that we have to bottom pick, but I wanted to be patient with Spirit. Here you are seeing some consolidation. I like 17 to 17.20. Here's 17.25. So as the market does dip back down, this could be what we're waiting for. I'm going to jump into some shares of Spirit in front of that 20-cent range that we had. Under Armour may not be working out in terms of a bottom pick, but let's see if we can't get Spirit to do that. I just got some at 33. I would only add if I get a little bit closer to that 20 mark. And then I would dig in at 17 even. So if 17 breaks, I'd like to have an average price of about 17.50 here. One of those things that happens, if it goes right away, you have less shares, but maybe you think to hold on a little bit longer. It also didn't risk you as much if it did. But I do want to make sure I have room to go to that 17. Under Armour, as I said, this is going to be try number 2. The long here, just a frustrating one. Obviously, you know, if you hold it overnight, fantastic. If you got a bit of a breakout trade in the pre-market, that's good. But trying to hold up in this bottom end, if it breaks 14.25, I'm going to be out of it. I've already lost once to the long side in Under Armour. Don't want to throw everything away that I've made. Chasing some longs here or fighting the long trade when the market is starting to come off here and there's some profit taking going on in UAA. It is already 10:20. That means, once again, got to go to Brendan at the big screen for small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Going to sound like a bit of a broken record here. You've heard Neil touch on these already, but we'll go over a few that were moving around in the pre-market. It's been a little bit slow as far as small caps towards the end of this week, but just want to preface, you kind of have to take what you can get, follow your strategy, trade your plan, as we say, and then take what you can get. AIRI on the NYSE ARC exchange here. Positive news aftermarket. You can see yesterday, big pop to the upside. 150, pretty clear level here on the daily chart. It was just working off of 150. Nice flush down to 120. It's sitting there doing nothing now. Volume already dying on a lot of these. Worth mentioning. BLRX, yeah. 240, 250. Every time we get anywhere close to 240, put some shares on. You get back down to 210, 205. Take those shares off. You get back to 240. You see the plan, just working inside of that range. Take what you can get today. EQ, the other one I was looking at, 750 up to 775. a bit of an area in the aftermarket yesterday. So tight little consolidation here going into the open. Gave you a nice flush down to 660. Short again up there in front of that 750, and then we're out of that as well. So I still have a little bit of that, but overall, watch the volume on a lot of these guys. Volume already dying off, so it is pretty quiet at this point in small cap world. Back over to Sean.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, yeah, the volume I think is just going over to these major techs here. 265 bottom on Facebook. I mean, how much longer are we going to keep on trying to pick the bottoms here and lose? I mean, we haven't made too many mistakes other than going long everywhere, but we haven't taken huge hits. I mean, we could have easily held this all the way down, and we're just taking small cuts here, and you know they add up. It's not like these losers aren't adding up; they are. But I still think that this market is down a lot here the last couple of days. Some of those reports weren't so bad, but again, we're not here reading reports. We're watching price action, and today the price action on these names, including Facebook, which I loved to the long side. And I think it's just a great opportunity. Again, like down 6%, good opportunity to pick some of these names up, man. 264 and change. I mean, these are the bottom of the day right now on some of these names. So if you do think some bullish expectations are coming, then yeah, you may want to get some here, but it could also fade off. Remember, this is Friday, guys. So Friday is going to be generally a day where a lot of traders will take the afternoon off. So again, a lot of positioning right now, probably just taking off some of these longs, reorganizing what they're doing. But here we go to the downside again. Facebook just keeps breaking, guys. Down. I don't really know or have any upside targets on this. Here's a 30-minute chart for you on Facebook. We do have some spots here, downside right where we're at right now, 264 maybe, but again, we've broken that before. I mean, it's no problem. 263.80 maybe the ultimate bottom if you are trying to bottom pick. So 263.80, some support there on a 30-minute chart, but other than that, pretty nasty right now, guys.
And I wouldn't normally trade Nokia any day except for, post earnings and bad numbers. And you saw the flush that it had in yesterday's action. It ended up being my number one stock, despite the fact that I've literally traded it twice in my entire life. But you get a bit of a follow through here, and it's trying to hold to the upside on, and this is what we're talking about, the gap. And with this market starting to slide off, it's going to be hard not to defend this 350 area. But it was 335 that I had as the area for my best trade. I can give that to basically the high of the day. Nokia doesn't move a ton. You look at the level 2 here, all the liquidity. So when you're risking 5 cents, I mean, ultimately, you can literally choose any risk limit you want, and you're able to trade it off this in that price range. You're risking like 3 or 4 pennies here. So I am going to dip into some shares of Nokia, despite the fact that it's not moving too much. But if you make 5 pennies on this, you got to be happy. You make 10, you got to be ecstatic. Brendan, what's up?
Just saw an interesting note here on this one, Square. Big move down, 7+% for Square straight southbound. Apparently, they're in discussions to buy Credit Karma's tax preparation business, which is owned by Intuit. So Square, not liking that. You can see volume coming in here as that news came out through 160 for SQ, guys.
I mean, if we're trading all the right names just the wrong way, like look if we had gone short here on Google, 1650, you're at 1626, so a nice little win for the downside of Google. And this is, again, my largest holding in my long-term account, and it's nice to see it's up 5%, but we were up 7%. So that has faded back down as well. And again, if you're going to try to catch some longs, I mean, this is a very, very dangerous game today, as we said. So the only thing I'm looking at here, I've dug in a little bit here to Facebook. I found that 263.80, so I think we can play a little bit off that. Our average price right now, though, 265.55. So we're down about 80 cents, or it depends where it goes, but we're down right now 80 cents. Could be a lot more soon on Facebook. There it goes, 90 cents. So we'll wait to see on that one. Apple, I'm holding small, but there it is at 109. There's the 109 break. You still have this 180 here downside. We could do the same sort of thing on Apple. See if we can't find some support here. Here's a 30-minute chart. And look, we're already breaking, man. There's no support. The only support is where I was talking about liking it here. 106, 105, something like that. That's where maybe you get some support down here for Apple. So I don't know, I mean, what is this? I mean, what are these levels here? 107 and change. We're coming on to 108. You could take a baby long down here, but Apple today getting flushed, to say the least, man. They're all down about 6%. Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Netflix, all of them. The only one that's up today is Google. We talked about this, man. This was going to be a big earnings day, and here it comes. Everything murking itself to the downside right now, guys.
Yeah, the market just sort of breaking out to the downside. I'm going to do some backflips here. EQ finally breaks through that 670 area, 670, 675. So I wait. I told you guys I would allow it to break that and then take the next leg off in front of 650. So I just went ahead and did that. If it breaks 650, I mean, 6 is where it closed yesterday. So the quarter and that even are going to be the next 2 legs of the downside where you try to hit the home run on the last like 10, 15% of the position. I need to get over to Spirit because that, like I said, all the shorts are working for me, and of course that means the longs are going to be a mixed boat. It's still consolidating near the bottom. It's tested that 17-20 area where they had the breakout. If this doesn't work out, I'll turn negative on the stock. Of course, we had a break earlier that was good, and then a pullback which was not. But this one's going to be tried and true, and the real decision maker when it comes to whether I'll be positive on Save or not Spirit. If we can break back up to VWAP, I'm not really interested in taking anything off until we get to that 50 mark and then hopefully holding above. Consolidation in the futures is more of a reason to get in than this falling in. So I'm not adding to my position unless we start holding some levels here in the ES in particular.
Okay, Neo. So Neo goes all the way down and then flushes me out. Just basically, good thing we did take some profit though down upside when it did rip up for us 40 cents, and then it comes right back down, and then we get out for flat on this trade down here. It does break that 54, which we're looking at on a big move downside there. So yeah, really surprised there that Neo made that move all the way up. Like it went down basically 60 cents in one candle. So watch out here. We'll take Neo long again one more time. If it does break this high there, 73. We're going to go long on Neo, and we're averaged in nicely now to a spot that I'm pretty happy with on Facebook, guys. 263.80 is going to be our out on that one. We're long right now, 265.10. Let's see if it can go. It's our only shot right here, guys.
And just very quickly, guys. Oh, we need to go to Brendan. Brendan, breaking news. What's up, bud?
One we've traded in the past here, guys. Just another earnings report. Microvision, MVIS, reporting aftermarket yesterday. Just noticed broke that high from the pre-market there. So day high, but still negative after earnings. So per share missed. They reported a loss, but revenue actually topped expectations for Microvision.
Got my first entry into Nokia, but you're going to see right here, I got it on the midpoint. Just something we can do because we have direct market access. So just saving myself a little bit of coin here by getting a 36.50 entry point and getting paid by adding liquidity. If it's not going to move, there's no reason to jump into it. Yeah, I could wait patiently for 37s. I do want to add to this at 38 and 39 in front of a 40 level, and then just work it out to the low of the day. If the market's going to fall off, I feel like this is a relatively weak name that we can beat up on. Unfortunately, the roller coaster that is Under Armour continues down. You can see that one disappear from my board as all the longs seem to for losers. The only reason I'm going to be up today is because of the shorts, which just continue to work. And I got to go back to this BLRX for you guys because time and time again, you're just seeing it hold up. It was at 205 where we got some out the last time. Now it's just holding up 210, 210 bottom, 210. So every time it tested, I just take a little bit more off because each time it holds, I think the stronger the move could be back to the upside, and I want to make sure that I've locked in my profit. Want to remind everybody, oh, did I hit the wrong one? There we go. I did not. False breakouts. I don't know that we're going to have one if it breaks 250 on BLRX here, but maybe we will. We're dropping that video today on our Market Wisdom channel. We do them every single day. New information for you guys, something that everybody can learn from. We talk about breakout trades almost on a daily basis here, so why not learn about what is a false breakout and how to spot it? That one dropping on our Market Wisdom page right near the end of the show. Valeria will have that link for you.
Okay, everything's getting real spicy, real fast for me right now. Facebook, nice win now, 50 cents in the money as we're going upside now on FB. We do like this. I mean, we've averaged in here, so we are getting some out now. It hasn't been a good day for the longs. If you don't understand that, then maybe you haven't been watching. But right here, we're getting some out now, high side. So now we're in the money, 40 cents on Facebook. We can make this all back. It's not a problem, but the market needs to go, guys. And if that doesn't happen, then obviously some of these longs will be in trouble. I just think we may have, this is kind of the first time we did see a little bit of gathering here. Now we see some more on this side. So here we go. Nice little move to the upside. We are also long right now. Neo breaking through 70. So let's see. We have double longs, Neo and Facebook. Like them both right now. Facebook still ripping to the high side. What up, Beep?
Just checking on Tesla here, guys. They're not liking Tesla today. 5% just made a new low, all the way down to 388 once again for TSLA. Going to double check on Tesla. Not sure there's news, but
Everything right now is down 6%.
yeah, big moves so far today, guys. Yeah, for sure. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe. A couple hours left. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares are in mixed territory. Air France fell more than 3% after unveiled a 1 billion quarterly operating loss. Back to you.
Great stuff. Yeah, we'll talk Europe again, guys, coming up in half an hour, guys.
And I've been warning here about that relative strength in BLRX. This is why it just bounces again off of 210s. This is why I've been taking some profits out. If it breaks 240, bye-bye. I'm out of this trade. I literally have less than 20% left of it. So, why hang on to this? I'm not saying it's going to break through the top, but this consolidation is a bit strong. I would re-enter it if it broke $2, but it's a wait-and-see approach. If 240 gets taken out, I got to see what happens through the high of the day. The reason for this trade was just multiple failures at that 260 price on the daily chart. That's why it's a bit of a line in the sand. And I don't even want to hold a short through to that price. Why? I want to be flat.
Wow.
If it tests 260, I want to be free to jump in the 50 to 55 range on the way back down. I think that would be a home run trade.
Man, Facebook, like we were just cruising, and then in 1 minute, it dumps right down to the low of the day. So we did get right back in there. We did get out of that trade, but now we go back long side on Facebook. Like as if that just happened, it just crashed $1 on us, and we got out of that trade, unfortunately. Damn it, we get right back in, but that's the problem. Your stop is literally at that low of the day there. They hunted that out and then got stopped out there. I thought we were getting a little aggressive. That wasn't even the low of the day, sorry. That was that 264, 263.80 level. Let's see, man, these futures though, wow. This is a slippery slope here on Facebook. Wow, what's up, Beef?
The other reason, guys, Tesla might be getting hit a little bit today, it is Fisker Day, FSR in New York making its debut. As if we didn't have enough to look at already. I mean, everything in the world reported earnings, but Fisker, FSR, now a thing. So FSR up 12.8%, guys.
That'll do it. Certainly, we've talked about Fisker in the past, and definitely worth the watch. And the second I saw that chart there, Brennan, the first thing that jumped out at me, just to have my 1 minute load up here just for a second. Anytime you see something like this, forget about VWAP. It's just more about what is going on at this 990 to 995 area. And if you have direct market access, I always love to be able to determine if we have just a random size buyer, do we have a refresher? We do have some size buying down there. I'd like to see if there are some iceberg orders through those prices, because if that's all it is that's holding it up in a market that is coming to the downside, this could be one of those like easy scalp trades through 990. You can even just take it out in the 60s or 70s. It's on 11 million in volume. So I want to see when it comes back down to that 90 range, what does it look like? If it takes out that 10,000 share buyer, does it pop back up? Is there an iceberg down there? One of those little things that I'll be looking for on Fisker if it gets back down to that price.
Yeah, Fisker. So I guess SPAQ is gone, I'm guessing, right? That was an NY, because I think that was the NY. Yeah, okay, so SPAC is gone, just for you guys out there that know about that. 890, what did you say Fisker's price was currently?
It's trading at 10, but the level here is this 990 price area
FSR?
that's been holding up.
All right, FSR, yeah, I just want to have a quick look at it because, yeah, that was that SPAC there. So anybody in SPAQ, now, I don't know if it'll be in your accounts today, but FSR, obviously, depending on your broker, you'll get these very, very soon. So SPAC, I think it was 1-to-1, which makes sense because, like you just said yesterday, yeah, SPAC was closed at 9, so makes sense that it's up to $10 today, I guess. We'll see that coming through later. Okay, here we go. One last try on Facebook, and if it breaks 263.50, then yeah, I got to stop going long. Needless to say, today's just been long, and out all the way down. So not been a good day for us today, especially because we've just been looking long. But wow, look at Twitter, guys. TWTR, like, so glad we got out of some of this in the aftermarket yesterday at 47. Like, Twitter just does not, look at that Snapchat earnings, comes all the way back down to basically where we were on Snapchat day. This was Snapchat day here, 45, 46, ripped up to 50 that day. And then just yesterday, I was telling you viewers, man, get out if you still have Twitter, because that was a big one. It's priced to perfection. And if they miss, did not expect this, did not expect to crash back down below the 50 period. There is some spots here at 40, but that's a while away from here. So let's watch out for this one. Still going to the downside is Twitter. Wow, that's exploding downside, guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no doubt about it. You're seeing some crazy price action, which we anticipated. We talked about this all week long, this being the day when dreams be made for some people, and certainly the opportunities are going to be there. You know what? I'm going to go check to see why my math stinks on BLRX. You know what? It broke that 240. I got a little bit long, so I'll just get it out. That just basically means the last couple of times I took shares out, I failed to adjust my stop order accordingly, which means when it triggered, I end up in a long position and get out of it. I've been saying this all morning long. This one looked relatively strong. That's why every time it dips down, I'm taking it out at the bottoms so that when we do get this last fill here, I'll jump out of it. And now we just wait patiently. If it wants to make a test of that 260, I want it to fail at that price in particular before I'd be really, really confident in that short. If it fails here, then you got me, you tricked me. I'm just playing cautious with this name. It just feels like EQ and AIRI, those were the ones with a little bit more conviction because they just didn't seem as strong as BLRX. Brendan, what's up?
Just noticed, saw a note on OPEC production cuts bigger than expected coming, but oil still 2% to the downside today. A couple of energy names, CVX and XOM, both reporting this morning. XOM a little bit weaker than CVX at this point, guys.
Okay, like, again, look what we just did on Facebook. Get out, get back in, rips upside. So it's like I get out, then I get back in, it goes up, take profits, and then hold the rest and lose. So maybe we just need to flush out some of these profits here because this is why it's not as bad as it should be today for me, because we keep getting out. But then we get flushed and we go back long, and then we don't get out again, and then we get flushed again, and then we go back long. This time we get out. So a nice little 70-cent win right there on Facebook. We still have 60% of it, though, long at 263.82 right now. Look, see, get that bump in the futures, man. But then now they go up, and now they're trying to get back downside. So let's see. Here we go, Facebook. Let's see if we can get $1 in the money now. Upside on Facebook, making that money back a little bit here. So good trade on FB. Let's take some out just to make sure that we do take some profits on this one. 265.50 maybe here on Facebook, guys.
And finally trying to make a bit of a bottom is the market, and so is Spirit Airlines. Thank you very much for getting us to 1,000. Like I always say, I don't know who that dude is, but it's not one of us. 1725 is where the turn just happened. I mean, I got the Spirit trade. I added some shares here, but not very much. I wanted something down around closer to like 1705, 1710. But if we can finally break back up here, I think we'll take some out in front of VWAP. It was just sort of it's been relatively strong a couple of days in a row here. That's why I wanted to jump into this name. I know we talked about it in our pre-market review, which everybody should be a part of, because I feel like just about everything we traded today, or at least I've traded today, has been from the watch list or something that at least Brendan had mentioned when news does break. I do want to jump back over to that BLRX, and I could have pie in my face over this, and certainly if you're holding on to the short, congratulations. I might have made the top here a couple of times, but I'm trying to be cautious with this name just because of how relatively strong it's been. Each time it keeps testing just a little bit higher, just a little bit. And 260 is the price that I really like. So I definitely want to make sure I have some arrows in the quiver to test that level. Everything else is working out right now. Nokia, it's going to be a slow trade here, and I have no problem with that. I'll hang on to this one all afternoon. I actually made most of my money shorting in Nokia at lunchtime and in the afternoon because it's just a sideways trade for the most part. And if you have the trend, you're laughing. This one is sliding down in the money. I'm trying to pick some more shares up at 36. Might have to chase it to 35. 325 to 320 was the bottom yesterday's action. I don't think I'd hold past that.
So we just took $1 off there on Facebook, more than $1. We're long at 263.82. Just got some out 265.01s there on that move up. So we'll wait to see now if Facebook can keep on going. So that's why we're doing right now. It's been a roller coaster of a day, especially if you've been long everything today. But we just keep on battling this bottom here on Facebook, and we're finally getting some wins. So we got to celebrate them, man. Too many times I looked this stock, 50, 40, 50, 60 cents in the money and didn't take it. So right now we're back to that 50 cents in the money, and we're back to not taking it. So we did take out basically 70% of our trade up here around 265. So that was a good one now. Thank God we made a decent amount of money back there on that long. We have been fighting it, like we say, and it's been a losing game for us today. Apple, though, looking pretty spicy right now. What if we break this 109.20? Let's go long on a 109.20 break here on Facebook. On Apple. I just think a lot of these names are overdone. It's not that, like, I'm not revenge trading these. I'm not, like, everything is fine. I just, looking at this market here, the NASDAQ could break to the high side. And if I wait for it to be up here, then I don't get these bottom prices. So I'm kind of just thinking, like, if I take less risk, than my normal risk. Like instead of 100 or 200 shares, if you take 50 shares, whatever, just talking whatever your thing is, if you take a quarter or half of your position, then the risk becomes half on. So I think that's worth it here. 109.20 Apple. Let's see if it can get some moves backside here.
Yeah, just I see a lot of people asking about that MARPS, that oil and gas play, but we don't have any news on why this is up 100%, and I feel like whenever that's the case, of course, and then my chart just crashed on me here, but I can show you guys the level 2, and I can show you guys the daily chart. It already made one failure up at a previous price at 565. So as it retests it, you do have to watch out for this to take the top off. It is rather thinly traded. It's a free float. It's traded free float 9 times over, and it's 1040. So that tells you a little bit about it. It is starting to come off here, but that was at a failure point on the daily chart that you could at least look at. If it makes a retest of that same level, I would definitely be staying away from shorting it, even think about some breakout longs. Maybe if it starts to settle down or liquidity looks a little bit better, I would jump into this name here. But for me, it's not necessarily yet a trade. Maybe when it settles down. I like downward halts, those things of that nature, or some consolidation to happen before I would jump into MARPS. But it is on the radar now.
Okay, we're going to try. Oh, we just missed. I thought we got long there. I even put in the stop order to get out, but we don't. We're at 46. Damn you. We tried. Oh, we tried. It just would have been 10 cents. 20 cents in the money. We just tried to get Neil long there. I thought we put the bid out right when it came down, but it came down to 48. My bid went out at 46 there, so we missed that. But darn it, that was, oh man, we could have made some money back on that one. Looking to defend this bottom here on Neo. We got out last time at 49. Hopefully we can get filled back here again. Let's put our order at 47, 48. Well, we're at 46. We'll see if it comes back down, but like to do that and then see if we get holding it through 40. So darn it, just missed that try. We'll try it again. We'll put our order a little bit higher here on Neo. And here's what we're talking about, man. Facebook is like a 30-cent spread. So if you're going to trade this thing with 1,000 shares, like get ready to take like a $300 hit. Just look at that. Just by the spread alone, like it was just at 70 and then it dropped down to 30 there. So yeah, watch out, man. I don't. Maybe we.
It's one of those days, right? Like.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be catching some of these falling knives because when you're wrong, it opens up. And I think that's what's happened to me a lot of the times here. You take advantage of it on the upside as well, but watch out, man. Facebook just gets very violent.
That's an important lesson for everybody here because if you see abnormally low liquidity on a spot, you trade every single day, so you're looking at a level 2 every day, and you know what it should look like. If you see that, that can be a bit of a sign that there's just not a bid. Maybe less algos playing, maybe less active traders because it's a Friday going in the weekend before the election. I just want to make an adjustment to EQ here. I just got some shares out in front of 625 at 630, so we'll take a dollar winner here. But at this point, it's now moving my stop to this 675 area that couldn't break for so long. So either goes down to previous close and I get a $1.25, or it's a 675 trailing stop. I haven't had a trail the entire time till now. Time to go see that board. I'm surprised that it isn't all red. It's time for Sector Watch. Brennan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, we'll have a look at the S&P 500 here. Better late than never. Typical for earnings. Very, very negative sentiment on the day, but we get all these individual up movers on the day after positive earnings. Chatter, Google, you can trade GOOG or GOOGL, 4% for both of those. CHTR there, 4.25%, leading the communications group so far as positive movers are concerned. Twitter, however, 20% for Twitter to the downside. Facebook, 5.8%. At this point, we have EA, TTWO, and LYV, all 3+% to the downside. So we have healthcare as well in negative territory, despite AbbVie here, 5.7%, Bio as well, 3.5%, UHS and RMD, all positive earnings reports. Everything else to the downside, as you can see. Consumer discretionary names, interesting group so far today. The retailers, all negative. We do have a couple, MHK, NWL, and Under Armour we've been talking about in the discretionary group in positive territory. Again, all earnings names, but failing to offset the rest of this. The travel names are back downside as well. I just had a look at that MGM. They reported not good, obviously, 7%. RCL, CMG, DRI, NCLH, you get the picture. The entire group, consumer services lower. Tech stocks are leading, though, to the downside, as we saw at 10 a.m. NVIDIA, AMD, XLNX in the semiconductor group, FTNT now, and WU, all 4+% in negative territory. Yeah, it's ugly. 1.8% for the S&P, guys. Back to you.
If you want ugly, come have a look at this. You can't see it on my iPad here, but I wrote down two numbers. I want to Twitter short. I talked about 44.50, and I had 42.60 written down. The idea here, of course, just sort of taking consolidation. This is the range, giving it to the high, which I didn't do. That's 45.20 there. Obviously, you're going to see it come off. And the lesson here is that execution matters. Having a sound plan, make sure you review it. You can have a good idea, and what you got to be able to do is say, how is it that this is what I wanted to do? We're looking for a short with that structure, and I'm down on Twitter, and I've lost on it today. You have to examine what was it about the entry point, what was it about the stop, and not just say, oh my gosh, I stink. No, you got to analyze the trade. So I'll do that when I'm on the train here, licking those wounds. It's the only short that isn't working for me. Everything else, of course, definitely going to be good. No Kia sliding to the downside. I won't take anything off till it gets down to like 5 cents in the money. That's the way we like to play that stock. Under Armour, I'm going to come back to it. I took 2 stabs at this one to the long side, and you got to be disciplined here. I'm not going to fight it anymore. It does continue further down. I want to stay net positive on the day, and that's by letting the shorts ride and having some stops on the long side and not giving it too much room because just not as strong as I was expecting in Under Armour. I mean, the market's coming off here, but wowzers. Under Armour not holding up.
Yeah, no, nothing's holding up really. So Facebook, that's why we took this profit, guys. And we just have a small piece left of it. So all good on that front, but we're waiting to see if we can get long again and then use some of these bottoms, man. 263 and change. Let's try to get long 260. Whatever price I say, just one move and it goes up and down. So you got to watch out for that. A big stock while you guys were gone there with Neil and Brendan is, yes, NEO. We actually come back and we get that 46, exactly what we wanted. And then look where we got some out, man, 64. Now it'll probably come out the rest. It doesn't matter. Bye, see ya. We have such little shares now. What we were doing, as you can see, all out now of that, so that's fine. Nothing on the upside, but look, in, outs, 54s, 55s, 59s, 63s. There's a bunch of outs in here, and then we hold that 10% and then get that out on the bottom. So that's fine. Made some money back. So thank God the last hour has been good for us. The first hour, not so good, guys. We were long everything you could see, long. These are all longs. Purple is short, right? That's the mistake trade. I wish I went short there and held it. But right now, we're all long everything and not going well for us. But Facebook trying to hold up. I think we'll take another shot down here and just use 263 as a bottom. We talked about what that looks like on a longer period chart. We like 263.80. I mean, we're down a lot, man. 6% today. The very bottom of 260, like, if it gets to there, wow, I don't know what to say, but right now Facebook trying its best to hold up and hold this 263.10, which is that bottom. Really nothing here on a daily chart. We do have a 260 hold, though. If you really want to hero it, you could take some longs here and then give yourself about a $2 stop, guys. I do like that trade for Facebook. I think we can get even more long now, but watch out. If that 263 breaks, we could be heading south side.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to say it. Why? Because Airy is working, but I feel it bouncing up here. You looked at this level where I took some off on this little dip, right at that 120 mark when 125 broke. Now you're seeing, look at that little ramp that held 121, 122 before finally flushing down. I wanted this one all the way back down to a buck even. It hasn't happened yet. It's a 145 short, 145, 146 where I took it. If it breaks back above 22s, I'm going to take some more shares out here and then see if we can't, maybe have one stop at that 22, 25 range and then another one at 30. Someone asked me in the chat there, Ken, I did say my stop is down at 17 on Spirit. I just don't like hard stops at an even dollar range, so I give it like a penny or two below that price. But essentially, it is 17. I'm not gonna fight the longs too hard here. I just thought this one was worthy of a second try, given how strong it was yesterday. Brendan, what's up?
Fittingly, almost, or I guess you could say tap here. Molson Coors, basically a mirror opposite of the market. We're up almost 4% at one point there. It got up to 34.70 on a decent earnings report. Sales were lower during the pandemic, guys, but overall better than expected for Molson Coors.
think that's an example of, like, we always say it, you know, you got to trade the right names. And that would be a good one, obviously, to trade there. Molson Coors looking like a good little long there. And yeah, you got to trade the right names. People drinking beers. So let's see. A lot of people are going to get a little bit hammered probably tonight as well, going into Halloween, although you can't really celebrate it too much with friends, but just definitely have a good time, be safe, and be good with that. We did take another little long there on Facebook. Let's see if it goes. Same story, different ending, hopefully. Upside right now. There it goes. Thank you so much. A nice little long. Look what I'm talking about. In 62s there. Out right away. Like, it goes right away to 21. We'll just take that, man. 60 cents. Okay. The money's coming back in now, guys. We're happy once again. Let's go.
Yeah, going to be happy with some of the action that we're seeing. I mean, the market's starting to bounce a little bit, so Spirit is looking like it's trying to hold up. I do want to jump back over to Fisker just for a brief second. Of course, Brendan did mention it. I missed this trade here, this little bit of a breakout. I didn't tell you guys that 990. I was unable to catch it. Obviously, when it broke, it was significant. As you're going to see, it falls back down through. We try to give you guys what we're looking at and what we see. It doesn't mean we can catch every single trade here. Obviously, a missed opportunity when Fisker broke that 990. As you can see, it is consolidating off of this pre-market level at about 965. I would tend to be shorting in front of 10 even as a play, and then seeing if it defends the previous close price. I'm going to close right at $9 when it was back. So I would tend to think maybe there'd be some port down there, but I'd rather be shorting in front of 10 if I could. That's my look for Fisker. Time for Brennan to give the look at what's going on in the world of currencies and crypto. Money talks.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Not a lot really happening so far on a Friday. Everything pretty positive right across the board, but very, very slightly. You can see break even to just positive for most currencies. US dollar back to the downside. Oil under pressure, as we mentioned. Uncertainty coming election next week, obviously, for the US. Pulling the US dollar back to the downside. So the euro's higher ever so slightly. Canadian dollar exactly flat. I mean, we're right at 75. British pound 129.4. That's up slightly from yesterday. Japanese yen, Swiss franc. I mean, all of these. You can go all the way down here to the Turkish lira, the only one with a significant move today. That thing barely moves ever. Bitcoin and Ethereum, both downside. I threw up Ethereum over there because this one has been a little bit weak, relatively weak, if you're comparing it to Bitcoin over the past couple of days. Bitcoin kind of still back up in this range where Ethereum has retraced more of this move back to the upside through to 375 now for Ethereum. So leading once again on the weak side of things, 2.8% versus 0.8% for Bitcoin. Guys, back to you.
I just want to jump quickly to that BLRX. I am flat on it. You're going to see that I don't have the short anymore. It just continues to grind higher. It just made a bounce off VWAP, so no longer testing down around that 210 to 215 range. It's basically bouncing higher. It is headed towards that 260 level that we looked at here on the daily chart multiple times. Look, if it gets there and rolls over, that's the only way I'm jumping back into a short, unless it's that or below $2, guys. Looking relatively strong like it has all morning long. So any second now, this could be the test on that BLRX. I would just be very, very cautious with it. I have a short bias for these names, but it's really not a crazy idea when you see something like this to start thinking about longs, because you did have that $2 level below you to risk like 10, 15 cents to make, obviously twice that to the upside. My idea was to go short. You can see that's what I was doing, but it doesn't mean you can't use those same levels to make some other trades in the other direction. There's not only one way to skin a cat, guys. Of course, no cats are skinned in the making of this program.
Okay, we just went long Facebook there again in the 30s. I mean, this thing is just like, there it is, bang. I mean, we just keep on lining them up and hitting them down right now. But, it's just one of those things, guys. We're going to wait to see what happens if this market wants to get backside or not. But it's been a wild ride here for some of these names, including Facebook and Apple. And we just continue to look at them all here for you. We're long Apple 109.20. Not much happening right now on that break. 109.40. So we're in the money 30 cents, but looking to get more here as the market looks to rebound. So right now we're long 30 cents in the money now on Facebook and 30 cents or so on Apple, but it's a slippery slope here. What's up, B?
Flex, one we talked about a little bit earlier this week, might have been last week actually. I was just double checking if it was earnings. Yeah, electronics maker was last week. Flex, used to be Flextronics, reported aftermarket yesterday, was better than expected, but they've even fading this one. So 15 was line in the sand kind of thing, top end of the range on the daily chart. We're all the way down to 14 now for Flex, guys.
Looks.
I don't know why that made me think of you said Flex, and for whatever reason GameStop came to mind, and I didn't even know it was down 8% on the session. but just watching this one trying to grind back up. And you look at the market coming down and looking weak, and you want to think about some names that maybe we can still play. I like shorting GameStop. It's one of those things that's worked for me in the past. So like this 1090 to like 1120 area, if we can't rebound above here and we're still looking very, very peckish in the overall strength of the market, this could be one to maybe continue to fade off of. It is falling off a serious support level at about 1160. I think that's why it's going to be a little bit worth a look here. That's just a 3-minute chart. If you go back to the daily chart, if we break and again hold below this range, you're probably looking at $9 as the next target to the downside. I finally got some more shares in Nokia, which with all this liquidity, you think I wouldn't have to chase it this hard to finally get some more. It's a sleepier stock. I'll just update you on it here, guys. I like that 335 area yesterday. We made some money on it both in the morning and then when it made a move in the afternoon, a couple of times I took this short here, got some out for some scalp trades. When I took the short the last time, it basically ended up a couple of pennies of a loss as it ended up taking out the top. I just didn't want to hold on to it into the close. Using basically the same levels here, except giving it to 40. And I don't even want to take anything off until it starts breaking down towards the low end of the range. So when it takes out this 332 and starts making some lower lows, then I'll start covering the trade on the Nokia. So much liquidity, it's going to be a slow mover today, but that's why I feel pretty comfortable. As long as the market continues going down, Nokia should be okay.
We're getting our orders ready to rock and roll here for Facebook because right now we're watching this one. We're taking nice winners. This is the thing, we're scalping these and then getting them out here, guys. Like I just took a long there right here, 263.30. We got it out at 263.94. Like that's 70 cents there, right? So there's profits. We just went long again at 37. So I'm going to put another order up on the high side in the 90s again. Like if we could just keep taking 60 cents. Then we can make back these cuts, right? It's just, it's the deeper ones that hurt when they do finally break and you don't get some out. So I think you got to stay disciplined, take some profits out, and don't look, guys, for those. I'm going to hit a home run here. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's pretty good here. You don't need those home run plays today. You just need to make the right plays. There we go, long again. We're going to give it to the bottom one more time, and if it breaks out, breaks down, then we're going to get out. But right now, Facebook, look at that spread when it opens up, man. 30 pennies, it's just nasty right now.
Yeah, and speaking of nasty, this is why you have to try to stay disciplined in a market like this. That's also nasty, by the way, just so you know. But Under Armour, it just got worse. Down through 14.25, now through 13.80. I took 2 shots at it long, and this is one of those things, like you could ruin your entire day if you try to hold on to it. This is why you're not going to see either one of us still in that trade, because you don't fight the markets too far. You find something which you have more confidence that there will be buy action in today, probably too much profit taking, which makes a little bit of sense given what's happening in Under Armour. It's been a slower grind to the upside here. I actually thought that it would make a real test up towards these levels on the daily, this 1630 to about that 1720, and then that's when the rollover would be, and I would jump into a short trade at that point. I just never even had any shot to get there today, which was counter to what I was thinking was going to happen. We can't read them all right, guys, but you certainly don't want to fight price action too hard. That's the only reason I'm going to be up on the day. Nokia continues to slide down. I'll stick with the plan here. If it wants to continue to fall, like I said, I'm on the bid at low of day. That's the first out that I'm going to take, and then from there I'll start getting out of my short in Nokia. I did want it. I wanted shares at 38. I wanted shares at 36. I wanted more shares at 35. I didn't get more until 34, but it has been sliding down. And I've been trying to be passive the entire way. I'm trying to get paid to trade and trying to sit passively on level 2 on the offer as opposed to just hammering that bid.
Okay, we're back along. Whoa. Facebook blowing up here. We got to get some out. We just took a nice little position there on the high side, so let's just get some out. Facebook blowing up right now, guys. What's up, Brendan? European update, Valeria, whoever. Let's go.
Mostly in negative territory, as growing coronavirus cases and coming US election waiting on the market. Britain is down 0.57%. Russia is down 0.74%. Germany is down 0.84%. And France is down 0.13%. French Ubisoft is down 7.25% after it reported its half-year results. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
Oh, man, finally, guys, that's why we get excited, man. Explode the money. big time. The most shares we've had on Facebook, and we go crazy and get them out right there. So yeah, big time. Look at this trade, 262.75. We got hit there, and then now we blow to the upside. Big wins right now. Thank you, Facebook, for coming back alive for me. And now we just rip to the high side right now. Good outs. Ding, 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 ding. We're not going to make that same mistake again. Facebook for the win, guys. Big time right there. Thank God we were able to make that trade. Made that money back. We needed that today. So yeah, that was a good one. Facebook now $1 in the money. And yeah, good one there. Put our biggest trade on right there. I don't know what happened. The futures spiked up. We just hit a market key, got bids. Boom, boom, boom. Upside dollar winner, guys. Let's go. Chicken dinners finally today. So if you're watching, wife, get those wings ready. We're going to have some. No, I think she has something spooky tonight, but we'll see about that, guys. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter.
Nothing wrong with chicken wings, man. But I mean, it's tomorrow's Halloween. I know we're celebrating today because, of course, so we're doing it all for you guys. I'm not Arun, but I'd love to get his opinion on this, and maybe we can find something in the chat here, because we just made a bit of a turn on both the ES in front of the overnight, that little bottom that you just saw there, and then this 1100 just held up. So I don't know if this is some consolidation bottom, or maybe it's going to be good for the longs. Obviously, if tech makes a bottom like Facebook is, that's great for Sean. But remember, probably not going to help my Spirit Airlines position. Those are two separate beasts. So it is consolidating off of the low. It did make a bit of a bounce up, but I'm essentially still flat on the trade, guys. It's not really as much of a bounce as you just saw in a couple of the tech names as the NQ held above that 11,000 mark. The ES trying to hold that bottom, guys. Once we break out of this, it's like about 1735 to 1740. Then I'm going to be confident in this long a little bit more. Not to say that I take get more in, but I would certainly not take anything off until we make a stronger move to the upside. You can't risk it down to 17 if you're not willing to hold it through. This is an ultimate bottom. If the market turns here, I've picked my horse to back. It's not going to be United Airlines. It's going to be Spirit, and I'll maintain the shorts. Watch out for your BLRX. I've given caution on this if you've been shorting it all morning long. Here is the test at 260. It's finally coming through. It might be worth a scalp trade to the long side, but like I said, I'm looking for a short off a failed break here. So I want to see if this can fail to go to like 275 or so, that next obvious level to the upside psychologically. And if it comes back down and hold below 260, yeah, I want this one of the short side. That's the only reason I'm not taking the breakout. I never make that much money on the breaks anyways, because I'm never married to holding them. If you have the mentality that you want to hold for a squeeze to the upside, like I know Sean will do, that's why you jump into the longs. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm always looking for that short, so I want to be laser focused on that instead of the long break.
Yeah, good. Here we go, guys. I mean, finally, a Neo. We get that long in there, 82, 83, out 87, 88. Watching that go to the high side. And we now have $1 in the money, so it's a little floss action right now. More than $1 in the money right now. Let's call it $1.20 right here on Facebook. So that's a big trade. Yeah, we've got energy again. Oh, yeah. So here we go. The reason why I was losing, of course, is that I didn't have enough water. So I just remembered that we didn't have any water yet today. So we're going to drink that. We're going to blame water today, okay, Valeria? There's always a good reason for excuses. Water today. Whoa, okay. See, I just picked up the water, and here we go, guys. Facebook, give it to me. Give me those 31s. Boom! There it is, guys. $1.40 win on Facebook right there. We have 50 cents in the money on Apple as well. So things moving, man. Like I said, the first hour, not so nice. But right now, we go and we hit some confetti for you, because here we go, guys. We're starting to make that money back. $1.27 now in the money on Facebook, man. What a great trade that was. Thank you, Facebook, for that bottom pick right down there. Good trade. Hasn't been fantastic today, but it's getting a hell of a lot better. What's up, B?
Yet more earnings, guys. Logistics company, shipping, freight, logistics, DASK. DSKE. Anyways, it's relative volume is the story here. Big time volume for DSKE. This thing typically doesn't really do much during the day, but better than expected results. 22% here, just trying to hold above the $6 area for DSKE.
That's where The Rock would be saying, who in the blue blazes are you? I don't know that company at all. There's a battle being waged on this 260 break at BLRX here. You almost feel like a level like that would have gone a little bit faster. It's starting to kick up. I'm not jumping into the short until I see a couple of things. Test back below like a 250, or a failure a little bit higher like a 275 and a snap back down. And again, I know some people are long a breakout like this, but essentially what I'm looking for is some of those longs to panic out when it's not going as fast as they want, and then everyone runs to that exit that's either been holding the bag long from overnight, or long in this 220 range, or long in the break, and they all think, If it comes back down, I don't want to get caught in the retracement. That's the short that I'm looking for. Haven't seen it just yet, but my eyes are glued to BLRX here. Spirit is headed to the upside. You're going to see it in the money for me, like 10 pennies or so. Still have that long here, 29 my average price. I just want to make sure it goes up to VWAP in 50s before I take anything off.
Oh man, sweet, whatever. We are just going to the upside right now, $1.70 now in the money. I did want to give, I see a couple new traders, not new traders, but some of our old traders. I did want to give a big congratulations to our main man, Yushi. He's been with us, or with Neil and I for sure, since, I don't know, was it like 2008, 2009? Maybe he could put in the chat there since he's been with us.
Longer.
He is now branching out and opening his own office. So I did want to say congratulations. Those of you that know our #1 sponsor, Day Trade the World, Yushi stepping out and opening up an office. And then today, Neil, we have great news. Not only that, so big thank you and congratulations to Yushi. He provides us with a lot of information daily. You know, he tends to have different views than a lot of us, as we know, but he called some of those bottoms and then the huge move down there in March. He was getting locked and loaded for that in January, February. So what's up to Yushi? Congratulations and big time moving there. The reason why I bring it up right now is because he's going to sponsor, basically, he's going to get lunch for everybody, and we've been promised lobsters, Neil, so I'm hoping those can come through. If they don't, that's fine. I will take a hot dog. It's on its way.
You
so
managed
right
to source
there.
it. Apparently, there's a shortage of lobster in the GTA, and that's the reason why I was sort of doubting it.
Not
but
when you're Yushi.
Yushi
Yushi
comes
knows.
through. Yushi's my spirit animal. I love talking to Yushi because it's guaranteed that I'm going to learn something. I love someone that takes at the other end of an argument or sort of keeps you in check by thinking things differently. You always want to have someone like that in your trading sort of circle because it's just an invaluable thing. You don't want just people that will confirm exactly what you think. BLRX is continuing to go to the upside. I gave you the reasons why I didn't take the breakout long. 260 looks like it was a good one. I'm still looking for a retracement, and it's still trying to grind higher. I didn't have anything on the daily chart until it gets, wrong direction, until it gets a lot further to about like the 360 level. So that's the next point where I think about a rollover. For now, Brendan, what's up, bud?
Jumaya Technologies, just double checking on this. Don't think it was earnings on this name. Yeah, no, November 10th is earnings for JMIA, but you can see a little bit of action aftermarket. We had a gap to the downside, pushing back to 16. Remember, this name has had quite the move from $7.50 up to $18. So coming in a little bit, but looks like support around that $15.80, $15.50 area for JMIA.
See, so like if Yushi is Neil's spirit animal, I got to find out who mine is. So I'm gonna do some work there. I'll talk to the wife. She may have some good ideas about that. Okay, 90 cents in the money. Facebook, Neo, man, what a great trade that was again. In through 80, breaking through this VWAP here. The VWAP is 75. When I put the order in, it must have been 80 or so. So we get long at 81 and out there 87, 88, 89, and then now it's coming back to the downside. We got to take out some of these profits. Look, we have literally 20, no less. Yeah, about 16 or 17. I have a weird fill here on Facebook here, but we do have about 20% left. We cashed out of the majority of this when it just went parabolic and ripped City there. So good out for us on Facebook. Our best out there, 264.38 off of a 262.70 long. So that was $1.50 in the money. So we're pretty happy with that one.
And Save continues to slide in the money. I want to thank one of the viewers here for saying Costco Business Center in Scarborough has lobsters in stock. Thank you very much for that. I think Yushi's already got them for us, but I love it. It just sort of randomly.
I mean, we don't need live lobsters. We need cooked lobsters.
That's the idea.
I don't know what's happening in my Costco, but
there's a decent chance that we wouldn't be able to have live lobster here because we don't have a kitchen to be able to handle it. Bit of a rollover happening back in the market, so you're going to see Spirit test back down. I love the fact that we've held the bottom, holding about 17.10 here. If we can consolidate one more time a little bit higher, that would be a reason to take a few more shares, especially if the market holds a low. I've picked Spirit as my long. First out in Nokia, finally, down at 332. I said I wouldn't take it till it hit the low of the day. Now I've taken 1/6 off now that it's hit that bid. Brendan, what's up?
I was just going to say that I'm going to spill the beans, but that business Costco in Scarborough is very underrated. It kind of flies under the radar. It's very small. It's not as big as a normal Costco, but no lineups ever at that specific Scarborough location. So there you go. A little shout out for Scarborough. Costco. Apple, guys, just popping up here. I don't know why I know that, but Apple just popping up here on a volume spike through that little pivot there at 109.50. Guys.
He
That's
gives,
good.
he gives the news and he knows that too. Like, wow. I mean, random.
Oh yeah. He knows that's an easy one for Brendan. His knowledge is well advanced in that. 109.50 volume spike. Okay, we're long right now. 109.20 right here. Good one, but we're going to wait to see that 109.50, good level. VWAP upside 109.75. We're going to wait on that. We did notice we didn't get out of all of our NIO, so you are going to see me holding a little bit of that. Maybe we could test back on the day's low. I hope that doesn't happen because we need to get some more out of Facebook as that comes rifling back to the downside. Some of these stocks, man, they can't hold their highs. There is no highs, but when they have moves, it's very, very hard for them to hold. So I think it's another very prudent, again, get out just above 264 if we can on Facebook and just capture. Like, again, it's 70 cents in the money right now. We could just take it out, but I think there's some more to go. So no point in doing that, but let's just wait to see. Now I'm excited for these lobsters. And Yushi was yelling there. It's not, he just wants to be, a big celebration. He's looking for that monster lobster. So I think he's going to have 3 or 4 or 5 pound ones. I think he was looking for a much bigger one. So yeah, right now, obviously with restaurants, this is the thing. Even here in Ontario, our restaurants are limited. They're not allowing indoor dining. So obviously there's not going to be too much stock. You don't want to stock too much fresh seafood if you can't get the customers through the door.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of goes without saying. But I love my seafood. I got to have it. I just want to remind everybody of a couple of things here. Yeah, I know Spirit's not really going anywhere. It's in the money for me. But we got a video coming up that you guys want to check out. False breakouts. And the only reason I wanted to hit this key again is I thought maybe it would be a false break in BLRX. I was looking out for that, and if it was one, that's why I was going to go short. So try to give you some education live. We give you even more on our Market Wisdom channel, guys, so check it out. Valeria's going to be dropping that link in the next half an hour or so. As always, look, if you got some suggestions for us, we put them up on the board. We literally saw one today about trading stations or whatnot that I think we're going to try and cover here. I'm not going to pretend to be some kind of an IT or computer expert, guys, so we'll make sure we get the straight goods on what's the best setup to have. So that and more coming up. Make sure you check that out on our Market Wisdom page. Let's check out what Brendan has at the desk.
Just saw a note. I threw it up there on the screen very quickly. Maybe you saw it. But both Twitter and Square also under pressure. We talked about Mark Zuckerberg in Washington testifying earlier in the week. It's Jack Dorsey's turn today in Washington testifying. So watch Square and Twitter on that as well.
He ain't scared.
Oh, Jack Dorsey, yeah, you look like hell, bro, on your last picture. Google that up, Jack Dorsey, and then that may have had you sell your Twitter shares earlier if you had saw that. But
he's allowed not to care.
Remember, Square is under pressure, guys, because of that Intuit deal there. They're looking to make some moves, so I absolutely love Square. Again, my price is embarrassingly low because I first stepped into it in March. But if you're going to look at to get into something now, it's broken below. If you can get, again, into this 140 area, like, don't be afraid to step in and make some moves here on some of these down market days. Like, you just got to nibble in, right? I mean, that's how you trade. Look at this. There's another winner right there. Explode the money for another $1.20 there on Facebook. We finally get out there, 68 or 69 out there on whatever we just got hit at right there on Facebook. Now we still have some high side moves hopefully coming. Going to hold the last little bit. Now we're down to about 15% left on what we had, so we'll wait to see if that can come up to 265 and change. So waiting for that. Still have 25 cents in the money on Apple. Look, today's day was a hell of a lot worse, but thank God some of this market was bouncing back for us because we're able to take some longs. And what's really made all the money back for me was these Facebook bids here. Like all of these bids and just rinsing them out. You could see basically no trades below here, and if it is, it's just getting out and then getting back in. So nice little explosion to the upside. Thank you, Facebook, for turning my day right around and giving a big WTF for that first hour. Brendan, Valeria, whoever it was, let's go.
Yeah, market trying to go back upside here as well. So we'll see if we can start holding this 3250 area. I want to mention this one, Kraft Heinz, guys. Volume very disappointing here today, but they also reported this morning a little bit better than expected. Just made a new day high there at 3050 for Kraft Heinz.
Yeah, my wife refuses to buy Kraft Heinz, which is a... Anyways, I'm not going to get into it. It's like she likes to buy Canadian. I'm like, whatever, man. Kraft is better. Spirit Airlines was the best in terms of the long. At least that's what that was the anticipation. That's why Brendan brought it up to you guys. Finally got my first exit point here. Take a quick 15-cent win. And as it tries to test and break VWAP, then we'll see if we can get one more leg out in front of 50s. All upside from there, hopefully. Look, if it goes to 18, I'll be all flat, 100%. Certainly probably about that 1775 mark. I think we might roll over as weak as the futures have looked. I would anticipate that that could be the case if we're not at least pressing some of those highs. But this was the long that I picked out. We've held the bottom. Now we're starting to reap some of the reward here. It's just sort of worth noting, and I'm following this one away in the back of my head. Lagging the bounce up was the airline play here, as I usually see the bounce in Facebook and tech. That happened first, so maybe the NASDAQ getting a bit of a bigger bounce here. I don't know. It seems like it's about the same move to me. I just happened to note that it happened in some of those earnings play names before it did in Spirit. Happened anyways, guys. We're in the money. Wish I'd gone long in BLRX. I'm still waiting for an opportunity to go short. And yeah, that 260 was worth a break. So I was cautionary about this one for the short the entire way for this reason. Got to look into some reasons why, or some ways in which I can be a little bit more bearish on some of these pushes to the upside. I just never think these things are worth as much as they run up from a fundamental standpoint. Makes it hard to go long at times, but you just play the price action. 260 was that obvious level on the daily chart, and you're seeing it finally go here now to $3.
All right, looking at, I still have the same trades that I've always had on here. 40 cents in the money for Apple. I just think there's a bigger move coming, guys, at some point. Apple down 5%. Get your shares while you can. You're going to not see this price for too long, I think. If Apple get to 106, we'll do that. Apple probably treks back to 120 pretty soon, guys. Facebook here, same kind of deal. I like this long as well. We've been hitting that. And then just to give you an update, if you see me with some Neo trades or shares on, we just bought at view up again and then got out. High side there, 86. So 76 out, 86. What are we long now? 78. So we'll wait to see if it does test down this bottom again. $30.45. Neo's been pretty good. But look at the market. Now we're coming back in again. So this may be a good time here to reinvestigate some shorts to see, or at least to dump some of the longs you have. Like I've made back a decent amount of what we've lost, so we don't need to throw out this money with the bathwater. There goes Facebook out. So now we'll wait. Like if it comes right back down there, like I said, that's why, like we had 15% left. So good trade there on Facebook, or less than that, 13% left. So good trade. We're just going to cancel all of our stop orders and make sure that that's out. Yes, okay, good. I mean, getting that out, in and out there was fantastic. Really lucky that we had that Facebook long, save back some money. Facebook just continues to tank, man. Look at these futures. Wow.
Yeah, I told you guys that EQ was going to be my best stock of the day. It's going to be true, but as easy as this sort of like flush was and nice and controlled, here's my bid. I talked about the close price. It closed literally at $6 even. I had a bid down here at $6.12. That's the low of the day at $6.13. So, well, I'm going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and cancel that bid. A couple of ways I can play this. You know, just trail it up to like $6.40, lock in what'll be a 90-cent win. I actually got $1 before, but it looks like the last little bit's going to be either 90 cents or I'll just take it off somewhere in the teens if it tries to go lower. I'm never trying to be too greedy here in the 6 market. Usually that previous day close is going to be that last line in the sand. If it goes further, fair enough. I'm not going to play for that. Brendan, what's up?
At one point, this name was in the mix for a vaccine for COVID-19. I was just reading their earnings here. Opco Health, OPK, pharmaceutical company, down 20%. You can see a big time miss for their report aftermarket yesterday. Just grinding along this 330 right now for OPK.
Okay. Starbucks, I was just looking at that because we missed that trade for sure. Starbucks. Damn it. Should have had it, but can't have them all. This was one of those breaks there. Like if I was defending Starbucks, it would be the same kind of thing. You'd be going long through here and then trying to defend this 85.50. I think I would have lost a lot less money if I was trading Starbucks today because it hasn't been super violent and the moves have been okay, bouncing off some of these bottoms. But this was a good break right here, 86.50. Not only does it set up properly, but it's also the 50. And then look where it runs to, man. 87 flat there, so no surprise there. And here we go, Apple. Here we go. So finally back into the money, man. 50 cents as we go. We holding this level. We'll see if it can take out 110 now to the upside. Apple, nice little trade, 50 cents in the money. And then Neo, we're light on it. I'm waiting to get longer if it can get back into the 50s. NIO will take a shot back 50 side. But other than that, man, NVIDIA downside. We talked about AMD. Rob sent me a note there. He's all sad about AMD because it is down today to $75. Yeah, sorry, Rob. Yesterday you were $3 in the money. Now you're $1 out. But we'll see right here. 75 and change here on AMD. This is a great spot if you like it. 75.62. Let's see if it gets going backside right there. 75.62 for a long on AMD. I do like that one.
Yeah, and if you're long AMD, you know who. You're not holding it for one day. That's not the plan of action. I'm going to drop this graphic because I never use it enough when I have one of the airlines. I've got spirit. Yes, I do. How about you guys? The VWAP right here, I talked about taking profit if it gets to this price level, so I do a couple of legs. Next leg out would be 55s and then some at 65. Like I said, I'll probably be all flat or at least close to it if we break that 1775 mark. Just checking back in on BLRX. It just tested $3 here, got a couple of pennies higher and a little bit of a retracement, guys. So maybe this is going to be the fail break. Maybe it's going to be $3. 360 was a level on the daily chart. That's why I was sort of waiting for another parabolic move up and ideally some halts or things like that. But 360 is better. $3 psychological. If it turns here, maybe start thinking about something at a 280 price. I'm definitely shorting it if it breaks 250. That's a definite line in the sand for me. But for now, let's look to see if it holds below 3, and I can take this one at about 280 to the south side with a 3 even stop.
Okay, I'm still looking at the same stuff here. I do like AMD, but I'm just noticing this bottom as well. Maybe we can pick some up around 75 and then use it to our advantage here, 74.80 as a bottom. That could definitely be something. Valeria, not too happy with Rob because of the camera work there. So Rob, man, smarten up. Let's get going here if you can. But 75, we're just playing around. Hopefully they can get that.
Yeah, bad Santa.
To Valeria's spot. 75.63 here on AMD. We did talk about that. I'm going to put an order down here as well if we can get some longs. 74.90, we do like that. Neo coming back from the dead as well. Did not go down to where we wanted it, although 46s is where we picked it up here that I liked. We're trying it again, but I should have just waited at 50. It goes all the way down to 50 before bumping right back up and once again, back into the money. So 2 for 2 right now, Apple long and Neo long.
Yeah, and just going to my eyes are glued to BLRX here. You just have to. I'm going to be adding back in Nokia. I took some out at the bottom. I'll go to that chart in just a quick second when we've settled here on BLRX because I want to make an execution if it breaks down towards that 280. But if Nokia goes to 40s, I'm out. There's that 80. Well, there's the breakdown to 80. Let's see if I can pick a little something up. I don't want to chase it too far here. Come back to me. Come back to me. I want something right around that 280 price. I just don't want to chase it too far from giving it to 3. But I'm going to get into that Nokia some more at 65s. At 336, 337. 340 has been my out the entire time. But now thinking about finally going short in BLRX. Again, that's the only direction I've been. 260 was a great breakout. I'm just hoping that it's a bit of a failed break that we're seeing through there at that $3 range, guys.
All right, they're getting the shot lined up for Miss V. Okay, this came all the way back. I think we could just start to dump some NIO. I don't know, it's just not really doing anything. I still have some targets up here, 90, so we're long 78. We just took some out there, 72. It just bounced off VWAP, so we're gonna wait to 90s here and see if we get that out. If we do, that's great. It's a small Apple position, so that's why you're not really hearing me talk too much about it. So we will wait to see if that wants to do something. And then Twitter, man, you just mentioned that not too long ago, Brendan, when Twitter, .ny, Twitter down 20 points today, 20%, sorry. Wow, 21 almost there. Probably was near 21 at the bottom. I don't really see anything until we get it back above at least 42.50. So that's got a little ways to go. I don't want to bottom pick this name. Down 20%. Could just keep on falling here. What's up, B?
I remember there was a time when pretty much everyone had, remember those Columbia winter jackets? But Columbia not having a good day today after earnings. Aftermarket yesterday, big time sales miss. Big time revenue miss, so not good for COLM. A little bit thinly traded, but watch at $80 here for Columbia, guys.
I think I still have one of those somewhere around, but yeah, I mean, Canada Goose kicking their butt a little bit. I said I would come back to it just to show you Nokia. I did get 81s on BLRX, so I waited patiently. I didn't want to chase it an extra 5 pennies there, but Nokia started to bounce back to the upside, so I sort of waited a little bit. I was chasing it on the way down, but on the way back up, I waited for 35s and just added some at 37. I only got one leg out at 32, so not yet going to be as good as it was yesterday. If it takes off the top, I'm just going to get out of this because obviously there is another level here that we can play, which is closer to 350, and I want to be patient. It has gotten beaten up. It is worth keeping things in perspective, that it does have a bit of a gap to fill, so you don't want to get too stubborn. I'm only ever risking about 5 cents, and then I'm starting to take it off once I make about 5 pennies on Nokia.
Just trying to see about this Facebook. Looking at some, yeah, go back to that shot actually, guys, if you can. Yeah, so here we go. Looking at different chart timeframes, different level 2s. Check us out on our Market Wisdom page. We do have a bunch of stuff up on that for level 2s, layouts and setups and whatnot. There it is. Hey, Ms. V. Good little shot there on the back side of us. You can see here 30 minutes, dailies, 12s, threes and whatnot as we go. So definitely getting ready to rock and roll here and 1 minute charts, of course. What we show you on the screen here is 1 minute charts. So if you are wondering for more, you can ask us. We can change these charts to different time frames. I just think that 1 minute shows you sort of the best of both worlds here, the action that we have on and what we're doing and what we're looking at. My eyes going everywhere, trying to find good prices for you and good deals. As you can see, though, the market's trying to break back down. Apple, man, we're going to dump this if it breaks down through 109. It's a small position. We're long right now at 109.20. Looks like the market may just break here, though.
A name from yesterday, I just saw this roll over, and we say it over and over again. Watch out for those day two moves. You saw the flush on UUU. This was the one that was slipping my mind that I know Brennan had in the 450 range, and I didn't catch the short until like 390 or so. But look at this. I mean, opens at the actual bottom, and there was a bit of a run up right at the open, but basically comes right back in, and then you got the flush at 275. You look at that, that's just so much easier than trying to catch a BLRX, in my opinion. The volume might not be as good, it's only 1 million shares. That said, you have a little bit more confidence in the price levels and the fact that there's no buying back in it because there's another new name or a hot name on the block that everyone's paying attention to, whether it's BLRX or Airy or any one of these small caps that we're watching today. I just want to jump back over to U.S. Steel. Was looking for this potentially to be a bit of a buy play if the market came back in the afternoon. It just hasn't happened yet. I saw Spirit bounce. It's a very, very similar chart, so these both are just following what's happening in the ES, whether it's Spirit Airlines or United Steel, that is. 975 looks like that pivot point for a potential, I guess small break. This stock doesn't really go too crazy, but you can definitely catch like 25 cents worth of a scalp through 975. If this market picks up, not a bad place to go long in the afternoon if the market holds.
If it holds, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big if.
Let's see. Okay, so we just finally, we weren't paying attention, but now we are. We're back in NIO right now. We just picked some up on the bottom there. $30.41 was our pickup there. So now our average price is back to 51. So let's wait to see. As you know, that's how you know we put on a lot of shares. We were just long at 77. Now our average price 51 down here. So we just put on some 40s, giving it to see if we break through the quarter here on the downside. What's up, B?
Digital Turbine, another one we've looked at before here, reporting earnings, guys. 1, 2, 3, looks like 4 possible upgrades on this thing. Look at this stock today. Just absolutely tanking through 27 there on huge volume to the downside. Earnings were actually kind of in line with expectations, but overall market dragging this thing to the downside. Digital Turbine apps, guys, very weak.
Everything is getting dragged. And that another stock. I mean, you're going to have some record numbers of names that are going to be short sell restricted today, but certainly I wouldn't step in front of this sword. Just pick the names you like. I just added to my BLRX position and just rolled over again and tried to get 90, came back. I took a few more shares just because it's looking a little more confident in the sideways action. I'm going to, if I missed a move like this, it's certainly, I'm not going to chase it. You might start to think about from a fundamental standpoint where it might turn around, but that's literally like $2 or $3 away from here. That doesn't mean you shorted at the bottom. I already have a few short trades on that are already working for me. That's the only reason I wouldn't dip into it. As far as Spirit Airlines goes, I'm now willing, because I have taken some profit out at VWAP, as long as we consolidate on a higher low and the market isn't plunging, I'd be willing to add back into this in the teens and 20s, hopefully at a price as good or better than the 25 I have here. But it's got to show me a bit of support first. I need to see it go sideways, some consolidation, some bids start to stack up at least a little bit before I would jump into this. There goes BLRX, now about 10 cents in the money. I'll start taking it off at 70 on the way to that 250 mark. If it breaks that, I almost want to be adding to my short. Not taking, I believe taking off, of course. But that's a nice winner already. Waited for the turn on this. I know the long was good on BLRX. I was just waiting, guys, for the short. I've sort of we saw it go to 1,000. We saw that graphic of the guy that I have no idea who it is. Maybe we should change it to one of us. I didn't see 1,500. How we don't get to 2,000 when we're dressing up for you guys, I'm not sure. Valeria, first of all, fantastic costume. Second of all, how are we doing with the likes? You got to figure out Halloween celebration. We're doing pretty good.
Well, Neil, it doesn't make sense. We have 4,000 of viewers and just 1,200 of likes. Dear viewers, please take your beautiful fingers and click the like button. So make us happy again. Back to you, Neil.
She just called all of you guys your beautiful fingers. My math is correct. 30%, that's good in baseball, so that's a good batting average. I don't know if it's that good of a percentage here, guys, but we're having a good time. Obviously, the market is starting to move on us here. I'm just noticing that we are sliding back down towards that 11,000 low on the NASDAQ. This Spirit Airlines is going to tend to test down for me here, but it's going to be a real story of does it hold the low of the day? I'm not going to drop this one off just because the market's trying to make some lows. The retracement isn't as deep here as it is in the overall market, and I picked this to be relatively strong, so I am still going to give it to the bottom. At this point, it's the only thing I've dug into to alongside everything else has sort of been short, and I want to make sure that we stick to that plan as it does start to come down. BLRX about to take some out for a 10-cent profit, just not quite there yet. The rollover hopefully on in that name.
Okay, here we go. These are my kids here. They're getting ready to go. And of course, I mean, you're probably not going to see cuter kids in this unless you think your own are cuter. Here we go, dressed up right now. She'd like to show, I think it's called Zombies or something, on Disney Plus. So there she is as a werewolf. And then my man Mando right here, making sure that he holds Baby Yoda close to him because, yeah, he knows that people are after Baby Yoda. So he's going to hold that. And there he is. So what's up to you kids there? Good job. I hope you're enjoying Halloween at your school today, although, you know, they still have to wear their masks and everything like that. So that Mando, there's not a mask under there, but...
Sean, that works. Wonder why that works? Because you're not supposed to take the mask off. A Mandalorian keeps the mask on. So
yeah, no, they're not allowed. School, regardless of COVID, you can't wear masks in school. So
what?
Yeah, he can wear that, I think, in the yard, but
really?
not outside. Okay, we did take some more Apple there, and like we keep saying, get in and get out, man. So we just took 30 cents again on that Apple trade. Doesn't look like much because of these wicks, but that is what that is. 109.20 in there and out 48 or 38, something like that. So 20, 30 cents on that side. We do have some more targets up near VWAP. If we can get out in the 60s, that'd be pretty sweet. So we're watching that Apple trade, and then we're watching NIO just bounce around again. So, you know, hopefully that just keeps bouncing off of these levels. We just did take another shares there at 40. So average price on NIO, exchange NIO, or symbol NIO, name NIO. Oh, by the way, Hertz is on pink sheets. We'll have that for you guys on Monday. It's not doing too much volume. It's 60 cents. Hopefully that gets better. What's up, Brendan?
One from yesterday, guys. We were talking about this Tricidia pharmaceutical name, TCDA. Huge move down, if you remember, into recent low territory. The FDA requesting more information about a current trial that they're running. That trial has been paused on one of their drugs. So 15% to the upside. Quite the bounce today for this TCDA.
Just getting some more shares in that BLRX. There was an IPO here. I think it was LU that just opened up here. I'm going to check it out in just a quick second. But it's going to be decision time any second now on save when it starts to come down and hold this 25 level. If it consolidates there, I will be adding to my position. Unfortunately, if it does break down, I will not take on any more shares because this market doesn't seem like it wants to bounce at this point. You're just not seeing a lot of follow through in these moves to the upside. I don't want to dig a grave on the long trade today.
Just looking here, man. Like everybody, thank you so much. Everyone loving Mando, loving it. Oh, she looks like a mini Sean. Okay, sorry about that for her. What's up, Brendan?
I was just going to mention this LU that Neil was just talking about. Not a huge one. It's in the financial tech sort of thing. It's a Chinese company, so this is actually an ADS. LU in New York here, just opening up, down 12%. It's only about 175 million, though, guys, for the size.
Yeah, that's not a tremendous amount of size. The volume's sort of okay already. I got a question I saw that why do we never take trades on dark pools? That's actually not true. I mean, I could show you my keyboard setup, and if I can, let's quickly pop it out here so you can see. I'm going to show you on the NASDAQ just how many different keys I have available to me to access the market. And I do, like on Nokia, I do use dark orders. That's how I got filled in the midpoint. It's just when you're trading some of the faster moving names that are liquid, liquidity is king, and stocks that are in play have plenty of it. Not necessarily as much need to sit in the dark, but I have used them on Nokia. That's how I got that midpoint fill. I tried to point that out to you guys. I mean, daytradable, we have literally every gateway that you can think of to access market liquidity, and we take advantage of it when necessity does arise.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe if you don't see it, we use routing keys. So a lot of the times those will route to dark pools, right? So that sort of makes sense, hopefully, to you guys. And again, if you don't, we do have some stuff up on our Market Wisdom page. You can check that out. Okay, Neo, let's go to the high side. Finally, we're long at 51s. I don't really have any orders out here. We can put some out 57, 58, 59. We'll see if it wants to keep going to the high side. There it is. A nice little out at 57. So Neo running right now. Under Armour not doing much. Neo running Facebook, we're not in it. And Apple still have that 20-cent winner on, now 30 cents. Let's see, I'm waiting in the 60s. Maybe we have to wait in the 50s to get out of some of this one. But here we go. Market finally starting to move high. We don't have Facebook anymore, but that one's been beat up. Good thing we stopped taking longs there. I think you do have a possibility at 263 break, but we're still a ways away from that one, guys.
Like what? Like, so I'm good. I got some more shares in BLRX here, but every time I look at this chart, it's like, how was I possibly saying this was the relatively strong one? I just never really felt to take the long here. It might even make another break to the upside. That's why I just don't want to give it anything past that $3 range. If it breaks that, I think it's headed to 360. But I've sort of picked the first contraction here to jump back into a short. You can sort of see as it's consolidated, or every time it pops and then fails, I'm looking to see if I can add to the position. I'm done with adding at this point. Just given how long it's gone sideways, getting close to that lunchtime mark, I feel like it should have already gone back down to at least test that 260, 250 area. I definitely love it below that 250, but let's see if this move can be sustained. It's bounced off 270 each time. That's my first leg. Once it breaks that, I want to start taking some shares off on BLRX. Back to the short side trade. No longs for me. I had one accidental long that I took a 2-cent hit. That's because my math was wrong on my stop order. Outside of that, obviously, if you had the long, fantastic for you. The short's in for me. Breaks 360 next level, guys. Oh, Brendan, sorry.
Zynga here, ZNGA, November 4th. It looks like, so Wednesday next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. ZNGA going to report next week, regardless, down 4% here. I mean, anything in the tech group today is down 4%, it seems like, but just popping off of 890 there, a bit of a bounce, volume coming back in for ZNGA.
Okay, I noticed Palantir here today getting crushed again. We're still long in the 950, 960s. We didn't get any out at 11. Lesson learned, we probably should do that next time. But here we go. If it breaks this 1020, guys, this could be a good one. Watch out here. I think this has a possibility. I would say today, I don't even see the hammer thing anymore. You take it out, there it is. I think this is worth it, guys. Just watch out. It's only if the market starts running, though. Like, don't hammer this if it just all of a sudden rips to 1020. If the market can go with it, then I'd say it's Hammer City on Palantir today. We've done so well on that going forward, or from before. Okay, NIO now, big time move to the high side. Good stock for us. Just buying bottoms, a 1042 there. Good trade, out now in the 50s. Hopefully we'll hold the rest for the 60s. Apple just keeps on bouncing, man. I'm waiting. I thought I had an order. I do at 46. How high did that go? 49. Okay, not sure how we got missed. But we have an order now in the 40s to get out of this one. We're long right here at 21. Just keeps on bouncing. Trying to make sure that we don't let this market slip back down. So if it does, we'll get out of this Apple. But I do think it's a good idea to get some out if we can, if it gets back into the 40s for the 20 cents. And just to wrap it up, man, there's 20 minutes left in the show and probably in the market today. The market's been getting killed. So I would say that you'd wait for the afternoon now, see if you can't pick up something on the cheap side. I did see someone say Microsoft was, oh, yes, Microsoft just breaks 200. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So let's get locked and loaded, man. If this thing could go to 1.9, like these are the prices I like. I'm excited here. This is an awesome opportunity to buy Microsoft. I'm going to put a big bid recommendation on Microsoft. Their quarter was outstanding. 196, like, you could put some of this in your portfolio. You should be doing that ASAP. Microsoft right now. I don't know if it's going to be good the rest of the day, but I love Microsoft long term. It just keeps on getting better for this stock here. The more it goes down, the more I like it. Let's just get ready to buy hand over fist Microsoft very, very soon, guys.
My eyes are glued to this $3 level. So I gave it, like, someone asked where my stop was and why I was not adding to the position of BLRX. I would add in consolidation, but the tape was too strong. The level 2 was showing me every single dip. Buyers were sort of lining up to take this to the top. I'll still give it to the high of day. The only switch I made, because it would look so bullish, was to say I'm not taking any more shares. So I was actually willing to add another quarter to this position, which I will no longer do, given how strong it is. But if it takes out the top, I'll be done with this one, at least until 360 or another consolidation lower. The good sign is, if it fails to get through the high, just tested $3 again. If it fails to get to the high and gives me some entry points back down at 280, at that point I would put the rest of the shares on here. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It looks like it actually wants to take the top off. It does. I'm out. That's the hit that I'll take on the short side trade. So you got to have a little bit of structure here. As I said, this one's been the strong one all morning long. So AIRI was a good one short, holding on to it. EQ as well. BLRX, this was the one that looked like it always had that strength. That's why I try to mention it over and over again. I just should have found a way to be in a long trade instead of just only having shorts that I was taking off for those small 10% wins.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, EQ, good trade there for sure. I don't know. Again, my order, I pulled it and put it back. Like, we should have got out. I don't see how we ripped up to 50 there, or even 43 when my orders were there. So I switched from the NASDAQ gateway over to BATS. So we'll see. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. We'll see if that is going to be something or not. Okay, NIO still bouncing around, but look at the futures here. Watch out, man. We're down that nasty 3%. I'm getting excited because I want this show to end and I'll buy some Microsoft in the account. Twitter's still bouncing around. This may be a low here for Twitter. I mean, the futures are bouncing. I'm just noticing that Twitter is holding this 41.40. We can call, I mean, I'm not stepping into Twitter, more Twitter shares, that's for sure. But you do have a beautiful bottom here also at 40. So if you are looking at building a position in Twitter right now, is a good opportunity to do it. It's all the way back down. I mean, it's so funny. It's just this move up was so huge that like we're only back down to September 18th levels. So you're back down like 6 weeks ago. This is not a huge move down. It's just, it is from the top. So watch out now. Twitter, I think, has a bottom here of 40 and change. So if you thought that this was a good price, definitely worth picking some up right now on Twitter. I would rather put capital to work in Mr. Softy, that's all.
Yeah, I just want to come over to GameStop. I mentioned this very, very briefly when the market was trying to claw back to the upside. That GameStop, if you looked at it from that 11 to 11.25 range, it just came back up and tested the top end of that range. On the way back down, yeah, I should have had it probably at like 110. I'm going to start it here around that $11 area. My out, of course, is going to be around that 11.25. I want an average price of 10s or so. Ideally, if the market does make some fresh lows here, I'm going to pick on GameStop into the short side trade. I just feel like this structure, you only risk about like 10, 15 cents if you get the right average price, maybe a little bit more than that to maybe test some of those lows on a stock that's already under pressure in a falling market. That's going to be the name of the game for me on GameStop. So new position alert. I don't think I'll take anything else except for looking at BLRX. If it finally reverses, I mean, I just got out. And it looks like a fail break again at 3 even, so it shook me out of that short. It's going to be Nokia for me, GameStop. You see I'm still in Spirit Airlines. It's consolidating. I might jump back into that long, but I don't have the market going with me. That's why I've held off for now. Brennan,
what's up, bud?
Yeah, here we go again, guys. Futures back to the downside. About to make day lows, it looks like. FTNT, another one from the tech group, also right at day lows. Watch 107 here. About to be tested once again on FTNT. Earnings were actually decent, but again, the entire group, it seems like the NASDAQ really getting hit, guys.
Yeah, to say the least here, as we continue to be short the NASDAQ and losing everything. So, but Twitter's making a move now. Maybe we are right here on this. Maybe it has sort of made a bottom here. 41.72, we'll test it for a little bit of a long to see if that can go from here. So this is a decent spot to look at some longs now for Twitter, I feel, guys.
Yeah, Twitter's name I've gotten away from all morning long. I hesitate to even pull it up because I don't want to see where Under Armour is. Oh, I'm joking. It's actually starting to consolidate. Got out of this one a long time ago. Obviously, you can see that on the chart. A couple of longs that didn't work out. Just going to go to, well, this is a 3. Let's go to the 15-minute. I just wanted to show one thing here. On the way to the downside, now obviously I took it out at this level here at about 14.25. That was going to be my stop. As we continue lower, you start to really think about this 13 even, which was a 2-day bottom and some kind of support. I'm trying to hold on here. I think 1350 certainly could be a place. The problem is the market is still selling off for me here, and Under Armour just turned negative. I think it's probably going to be a little bit of ways away before I would even consider an afternoon trade here. And I already have one that I'm dug into, Spirit, which is trending down lower. I'm glad I didn't add back into this position because it really does feel like it's going to test that 17. It's been all shorts that have worked for me so far today. Those long trades, just nothing doing, even just half of it out for a winner there on Spirit, and the rest looks like we'll take a hit.
Yep, so right now we're long NEO, we're long Twitter, and we're long Apple. So the reason for Twitter here, it just has this bottom. If you want to take it out, go ahead and do that, man. We'll get out of these shares. Well worth the risk right now for me on Twitter. So we're going to do it. And I just think that it could be strong here. Market looking to go upside. So let's take a shot here on TWTR. And hopefully Apple can print me now. If we go to 40, I'm sitting there. I think so. Anyways, where am I on? Yeah, I'm at 40. So let's see if it gets high side now. Got to take advantage. See, when we get missed again, it goes to 37 and not to 40. Like, why do I care about 2 pennies here? Let's see if it goes 37. See, again, 37. So not making the move is Apple, but so that's trying to go. Futures trying to go. And again, this is what this game is, man, today. It's all about watching this NASDAQ. If you're trading NASDAQ stocks, you want to make sure you're on the right symbols. See, there it goes, right? Like Apple tries to go, doesn't go, and then now all of a sudden down 30 cents from where it was because we missed our out by 3 cents. So we're going to readjust that, put it at 109.35 just in case there's something there, and see what happens now on Apple. I'm still hoping that the NASDAQ can reverse itself here, but it may want to make lower lows. 3% is huge, but it's not that big. It can go a hell of a lot further than that, especially with Apple down 6, Google's down, everything's down right now, guys.
And accidental long in EQ because my target hit on that one, and then I still had a stop order. So I got to clean up some of those stops just to make sure we don't get accidental triggers in. I just talked about GameStop here when I got this little rollover at 11:02. It's now in the money about 15 pennies. It goes down a little further into like the 10.75 range. I'll start to take some out if it consolidates. Right here, I might actually dip some off for just that 15 cents, but I'm looking for a little bit more on GameStop. I never actually got further entries in and around that 11 to 11.25 target area, so I don't actually have the full position size on. If I did, maybe I would be taking more off aggressively here. Just want to see if we can have something to the south side that's actually going to move a little bit more, and I think GameStop could fall into that category. Ken, I see you in the chat there. I did just mention I'm not looking to reload in Spirit unless I get a real bounce in the ES here, and it's trying to hold the bottom. I think I'd rather add on the way back up and into some strength as opposed to just sort of catching a falling sword, which I was doing in Under Armour and that did not work. And what I was doing earlier in Spirit, it worked the first time, got some out at VWAP. The second time through, I'd rather not try and rinse and repeat. Let's play into some strength and see if I can't catch it on the way back up. It's lunch. I feel like being patient is going to be the way to go as opposed to forcing the trade in Spirit. So far, it's been okay. I just don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade here by being greedy and being overzealous at 11:47.
It's lunch and it's getting close to a lobster lunch.
I'm hungry, man.
So we got to remember that always. And I want to thank you, Yushi, for that. It's been, we've already talked about that. Congratulations on the new office there. Apple does fall out. We're done with Apple now. Obviously, you see what's happening with this market. Just keeps coming down. So the only thing really, that Apple was just really a nothing trade. I'm much more interested right now in what happens to our friend Twitter. So we're waiting on that one to the downside. We do have a decent amount of shares here. I'm still holding out hope that it does not take out that the bottom of the day downside. So we're long right now at 61. I think that's a fair price for the risk that I have. And we're going to give it back down to 41.48, which is the low of the day. And hopefully it can get back up. We're long at 61, so it's right here. I do like this. Thank you so much for all the super chats or the contributions today. What's up to Fanny? Thank you so much for coming through as a member. I hope you do like the show. And Roki1, man, happy free day. Free day? Yeah, free day Friday, same thing. Family, SQQ, yes, to the rescue. Good one. That's actually pretty good there, Roki1. SQQ. I'm in SPXU, which is the other way here. I think is it Amex? Oops, let's go back to that symbol. SPXU and just tow it over to Amex. There it is. So these are the inverted move here on the futures. So if you are looking to get something long, you could go here, SPXU or SQQQ, like you just mentioned. Of course, that's on the NASDAQ. These symbols just keep going back and forth. Watch this one, 8%. So this is a double for the market. Or maybe a triple. What's up, Brendan?
My chart just froze. I was looking at Home Depot and Lowe's, guys, even these, right back at these significant levels. Look at, this is a daily chart of Home Depot here, down 2.5% or 2.25%, but big time levels for HD. I'll flip over to Lowe here in New York, down about the same, 2.25%, 157, big time support. Lowe's earnings coming up Monday, guys.
It's happened to me before, and I'm not going to get shaken out this time, but 21,500 shares on 1074 and GameStop, a few pennies lower, same order, a few pennies lower, same order again. I saw it up at 80 before it broke to the downside, so I see some suspicious, or maybe it's legitimate, maybe someone just wants to buy it every few cents or so, but I've taken out shorts that I've liked for the same reason. I'm not doing it. Not here. This one's a sliding off. I like this one under weakness. I was anticipating taking some out in the 70s anyways, and I'll probably go ahead and do that, but Look, I'm not going to fall for it. That just seems a little bit too suspicious to me. Someone trying to pump the stock up, maybe. I don't know. I just know that I see on level 2. I want you guys to see what we're looking at on a daily basis when we have direct market access. That's not going to get me out of the trade just yet. I'm going to stick to my plan, see if we can't run this back into the low of the day on GameStop. This is the one I wanted southbound, and even with the market bouncing and still sliding a little bit down here, I will take some profit off now that if it goes past 25 pennies in the money, which it is about to do.
All right, finally some upside here on Twitter, guys, as we go. Look, we talked about putting on some serious risk here on Twitter, so we do that. And yeah, good reward for sure. Up to 74s and 70. Like, look where we got these out, guys. Buy. We put on the biggest spots down here. I mean, our average price was 61, right? So now it's come back, but then we take out 75, 76s. So we take out that 15, 16 pennies right at this spot. So again, it doesn't want to break 75. So we've seen that happen over and over again now on Twitter. So we kind of get out now. So that's what we did out of half of the position there at 74, 75 for Twitter. So good run there. NEO back in the money again as well. That's 12 cents in the money. So good trade here for NIO. We'll see it. I mean, the only high side I have here is 65. Trying to get out some 65s, but maybe 55s is a little bit better. We got to make sure that we capture a win. We're long at 41s. So a big win here for NIO. Get some out as we can. Only 9 minutes left, guys. Happy Halloween to all.
Absolutely. You know what? I should use one of these if I can find it. There we go. I'll do Disco Pump. Oh, you hit Happy Halloween. I just wanted to make sure I use one of the dancing ones. These guys, our team works very hard at it, including Bad Santa. Rob over there, at some point you got to show your costume too. I said I would take some out for 25 pennies on GameStop. I go ahead and do that. The rest I want out in front of the low of the day. I will rinse and repeat between 11 and 11.25. Miraculously enough, who do I not see on the bid until down at 1070? So that 20,000 bid that you see showing up, all of a sudden backing off just a little bit as the market falls to the downside. You see that from time to time on the level 2. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Disney, I just noticed, holding up a little bit better than everything else. Still negative, down 1.5%. But just saw a note saying that there's going to be more layoffs, 11,350 to be exact, unionized workers getting laid off coming up next month for Disney, guys.
All right, we've got some decent winners on right now. We'll hit this because I like this, my favorite one, the Superman, as we go. Good job on that one. So here we go, right back to 74, 75 again is Twitter. Let's see if it breaks it. I mean, I'll get out another piece here, but I really think that if we could break, like we're in the money now, 14 cents on this, same as the money that we're in on NEO, but right here, it's just, we put on risk on Twitter, and I'm just really surprised the kind of problem that it had there. Not surprised because it did this, but surprised that it had a lot of momentum and stopped double top. Now again, 3 times since I've been in this at 74. So just want to bring that to everyone's attention. You probably should think about getting out up there on Twitter again. I'm going to dump some more shares right here.
I see a couple of questions in there. I apologize if people have been asking about Tesla. We do our best with the chat. I know a lot of times you'll see us, we get the super chats, we'll answer a question, we see the members. They just stick out a little bit more, and the chat moves pretty fast for us. Tesla is trying to make a bit of a bottom here. I want to tell you that I'm really super confident in going along here in a bottom pick if it holds this, but I'm just honestly not. That's not the case for me in Tesla today. I'd certainly be looking to fade anything into the 395 to 400 range if it got there. That would be my first look on Friday into the afternoon. It's just, if you look at the overall weakness, Tesla has been a lack of bid is basically the best way to put it. I like the bottom pick in some of the names that I feel have been a little bit more stable. That's why I look at the airlines, something that was strong yesterday like Spirit. You also talk about things that could benefit from post-election, maybe getting a stimulus package. That's why, if the anticipation that that's what could happen, which might be true, that's why I like that Spirit, which is back at the money. And if it consolidates any longer, now I'm thinking about adding to it. And apologies if I had a bullish look here right now on Tesla, I'd give it to you. I kind of don't. Maybe you have different thoughts, Sean. Certainly, you know, you're the long side trader a lot of times, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you do. I can't see it. I'd be shorting 95s to 400s.
Yeah, I mean, we will look at Tesla in a minute. We are long right now, though, like you mentioned, on lots of names, and one of them is Twitter. Oh, well, we're not long on lots. We only have 2 longs right now, but they're both well in the money, so we're really happy with the way they're trading right here. That is NIO, seems to be, what? We're waiting at 65. Like, I got to stop saying where I'm waiting. Like, it goes to 63, not that the market matters. I just think I'm jinxing it there because I went to 65. My order was sort of there, and we got missed because it only goes to 64. So once again, that happens. But there goes Twitter, guys. Here's the break that we were waiting for. It does break through 75. Let's just keep getting part out. Boom! There it is, another win for us. So yes, we finally took out the hammer on Twitter. We talked about going long on that name down here. We perfectly designed that for you. And I told you we'd be putting on some decent shares there. So the two largest positions I had actually worked out for me today, Facebook and Twitter, but it doesn't matter. It was all those small cuts, early on. This was the big trade that we had right here. It just blew up instantly and we got out, so that was pretty good. And then we got out. I wish we'd have held it all for that. But now Facebook's trying to, once again, I mean, how many bottoms are we going to pick down here? Let's check out Microsoft one more time. Yeah, 200, so that was a great one. I told you we wanted to load the boat up down here. Hopefully you guys did. There's going to be more opportunity anyways. What's the difference? You get long 200 or 299? Not much difference, or 199, sorry, on that one. But if you want to look at Tesla, let's look quick time on this one. Okay, 286. Yeah, my last out on Tesla was at that 420. I'm still long Tesla though. If you look at a daily chart, oh yeah, it's going to be off on our charts here. But the very bottom there was 340, 350, 327 just after the split. So I still love Tesla to the long side, especially if it's a Biden victory. What's up, Brendan?
Big flush here for that digital turbine I was talking about earlier. APPS just got flushed out through 26. Right back up, but look at the volume. Might be the bottom here. Finally, let's see what happens at 26. Bit of a congestion area for apps on the daily chart, guys.
Thank you very much, Brendan. I said I wanted to see it. These guys, our correction crew has it ready. So if you see us kidding around here, the one that does most of the kidding, there he is. That's Rob. That's Bad Santa. Lucas being a good boy today. As always, he's not goofing around. He's always, these guys do a fantastic job. All the graphics that you see, the production, all the different camera shots. I mean, they do a fantastic job of making us all look pretty good and allowing you guys to enjoy the show. I wish it weren't true, but we're like a few minutes away from getting out of here. Of course, it's the end of the week. I know that means no more trading, but the market isn't done just yet. Sean already gave you some fantastic stocks to look at in the afternoon. The only cautionary tale, which I know he said already, is that it's Friday, it's Halloween. Possibly volume could taper off a little bit, especially over lunch. Maybe wait till that last hour before putting too much to work in terms of big trades. And of course, we got that election coming up next week. The only thing I'm watching, other than the positions you see I had on that I've already reviewed, is that BLRX, guys. It looks like it is again testing below 3 even. 260 and 250 of the legs. I'm looking to the downside. Once it's below there, it's definitely going to be a short the rest of the day. Brendan, what's up?
Yeah, a couple minutes, guys, before we get out of here for the weekend. It is earnings still. We have lots to come still next week. Obviously, Friday, Monday, typically not the biggest of earnings days, but there are a few names worth mentioning here before the open on Monday. These are all before the open on Monday, guys.
Yeah, Lowe's great. I mean, we'll be trading Lowe's, a lot of Lowe's. That's come down recently. I think that's a good buy for sure. Let's see what numbers they do come out with. And then, yeah, I mean, Marathon Petroleum in the middle there. We've seen what oil does, and we know how important Clorox is these days, although they've come back down from their recent high as well. So it should be a fun day there on Monday, a bunch of different earnings, and I'm sure we've missed some. There's going to be lots. Definitely. Oh, yeah, that reminds me here. Let's check out this. If you want to know about our watch list, this is completely free. It's our morning movers. It's Twitter, it's Facebook. Look, everything's on there. Now Facebook's down 5-6%. All the names are on here. Starbucks, Google, yada, yada, yada as we go. So you definitely want to make sure that you sign up for our watch list. And again, the reason why it's so important, A, it's free, and B, we talk about these names. So if there was anything that you wanted to know what sort of we're trading, more like professional traders, we look at things with volumes, things with earnings. So if you want that all wrapped up in one nice spot there, watchlist.tradertv.live.
Absolutely. If you wonder what, look, we talk about preparation all the time, and the work gets put in anyways, whether you guys subscribe or not. So you might as well pick that one up for you. Just a minute to go here. You know there's one more thing we got to do. Obviously, one of us has a better costume than the rest. I still never saw a mask on Brendan's face at any point.
No, I have the best. I think I have the best costume with the Lucha Libre mask. I mean, I think that's true. But
where's the full suit?
But Valeria just has the wig on. I think the wig is nice. I like the wig. Good job, Valeria. What's up to Rey Mysterio? We already talked about that. And everybody, the Lucha Libres. Good job, Valeria. I definitely like that. And yeah, I would agree. Valeria crushing it today.
Thank you, Sean. I can give you can wear it sometime if
I
you
will.
want.
I will. I'll wear that sometime.
Hey guys, thank you very much for joining this week, spending this week with us. I hope you had a good and profitable week. Happy Halloween, everyone. And guys, please don't leave without smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel. Go watch our next educational video at the link I'm sending on the chat. And happy Frankenstein Day, everyone.
Yeah.
So it's Halloween, but as a nerd, I would not be a respectable nerd if I didn't call this out. That is not Frankenstein. That is Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein is the doctor. Yep, that's right. Certifiably, I'm a nerd. It is what it is. We've had a fun, fantastic day. Happy Halloween to absolutely everybody. Gonna give you some homework though, because that's the kind of Grinch that I am. Before you get out of here, check this out. False breakouts. There might have just been one at $3 that shook me out on our friend little BLRX on that small cap. But we do these for you. We drop one every single day so you can continue the learning even when you're not trading. So take a minute. The link is in the chat now, guys, so you can check it out there on our Market Wisdom page. False breakouts. It is that time. Once again, happy Halloween. For the entire team here, for Valeria, for Rey Mysterio.
Okay, we gotta get the mask on here. We can't say we have the best costume and not put the mask back on. You guys got me too quick here. There it is. Let's get that going. Back at you guys. Happy Halloween to everybody. Hope you have a good one. Let's enjoy this together. Thank you to Valeria for dressing up, Neil putting on the t-shirt there, and Brendan for not doing anything. But what's up? Good job there. Brendan has the mask, and we'll continue to go. Let's just keep this rocking and rolling. Happy Halloween to everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say for the Phantom to give Brendan a look there, but for Brendan Wickens, as always, doing a fantastic job. You know how it is. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you next week.
Go Twitter.
Lobster time.